spooky friends, and welcome to an episode of Storytime with the Scarish Podcast.
Woo!
I am Robin Grace, and I'm out of breath, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to share some awesome stories with you guys.
Indeed we are. I'm going to lead with this one story that goes like this. It goes, there's a guy who says, hey, you have 30 seconds to get in your seat before we're live, and someone does not respond. So she had to run up the stairs with a hot cup of coffee and then pick a cardigan or whatever these things are called to wear for you fine folks. I have never seen a human being panic more in my life, where it's like there's 40 options. Every one of them is gorgeous. You look amazing. And she had to touch each one of them individually before she said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then she finally just fucking picked one and sat down. So I'm so happy we're here with you folks tonight. And thank you to everyone who's listening to this right now and doesn't watch the audio versions. You don't realize there was like maybe a 60-second delay. Nothing too big, nothing too bad.
Cool.
So Storytime episodes are episodes where we read the stuff that you wonderful folks have sent to us. And we call those homegrown horrors because they've either happened to you or a friend you know, or you made them up. Please don't do that. If you want to reach out to us with a story that you have had, it can be anything. It can be a coincidence that you had that was really weird. It can be something spiritual. It can be a ghost story. It can be a really creepy haunting story. It can be something deeply personal if you want to share it. It does not have to go out on the episode. If you just want to communicate it to someone, you can email us at storytime@scarish.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Click like on the page if you go and check that out, but you can message us directly there. You can also join the Scarish Spooky Friends group on Facebook, which is fun stuff, tons of memes. Someone posted a meme this week, which was comment a horror movie that starts with the first letter of the name of the person who commented before you. And it's like 65, 70 comments deep right now. And I realize we have a lot of listeners that have names that start with A, and we're just running out of horror movies that start with A. We've gone through so fucking many of them. So it's not always serious stuff, but you can go join us there. Go to our Discord server. Best way to do that, go to scarish.com. That is our website. We own it. If you go to contact us, there's a little thing at the top of that. You can actually just send us your story right then and there. You don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. And if you want to tweet at us at ScarishPod, and Instagram is at ScarishPodcast. Now I'm out of breath. There's a lot of different ways you folks can reach out to us. We appreciate everyone that does. It's always really fun to hear from you folks. And I really enjoyed this past week because we did the Superstition recap, which made that episode like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And it was like,
so long.
I didn't finish editing that episode until 3 hours before it went live. And I was just like, dear God, I have a job interview tomorrow. So I had to shave my face for that thing. So that's why it's cold. My chin is cold right now. All 3 of them. So.
Oh my God.
Fun stuff, but I think I'm gonna. It's funny though. I think I'm gonna start because I think you got your stuff pretty much set up. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. It's fine.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this first email begins. Hello, spooky friends. That includes you guys.
Everyone
so
yell
everyone.
hello. Hello.
If I can respond, I expect everyone to respond.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Okay, so it goes. My name's Ashley, and I found you guys on Spotify. Oh.
Shout out to Spotify. I was drinking coffee. I apologize.
Let me just start by saying I started listening to you guys in August, and it is currently November 12th. Wow, it is currently January
21st, I think.
23rd.
23rd. Holy shit. 23rd. I don't even know what day it is.
I went to school today. That's the only reason why I know. And I'm officially all caught up. So you are super caught up now that it's been like 3 months.
I will take this moment to break in to remind you wonderful listeners that now is a really good time to submit your stories, because through the holidays, people have shit to do, and I get that. And there's always like a lull in numbers, and there's also a lull in submissions. So we are going to catch up, and there is a solid amount of stories left to do. We're not worried about running out of stories anytime soon, but send your story in right now. If you're worrying like, oh my God, then we'll get to my story for half a year. No, like now's the time. So if you're listening to this, be like, press pause, send us your story, storytime@scarish.com, and then go back to listening to the episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me, Ashley. Good work.
It continues. I wanted to wait to send something because I wasn't sure if I was going to remember something because of an episode. Smart.
Yeah, that is smart.
I absolutely love listening to you guys, but for some reason, Robin always activates Bixby on my phone, and it's never Adam. You know what's funny is
she does it to her phone too.
I do it all the time, and I don't know why. Maybe I mumble my words or something, and it ends up sounding like Bixby.
Sometimes you mumble your words, I think, when we're not recording, but a lot of time, I don't think I've ever had problems when I'm like editing where I'm like, man, she mumbled that. I've never said that to you in like the 3 years we've been doing podcasts. So there's some combination of words that you use that sounds like Bixby to Bixby because your phone's activated like 4 or 5 times.
Everybody that has an Android phone is just going to be like, what the F?
Okay, Google. Hopefully that activates your Google. What's the Amazon one? Hey, Alexa. I just hope all your devices are fucking fighting each other right now.
Okay, so continuing on. You guys are what I wish to find in someone someday. That's very, very sweet.
That is very nice.
But I want to strangle him sometimes.
It's true. And I want to murder her sometimes. Like when I'm sitting here and the thing says it's story time and there's no one sitting next to me and no one responding to me from downstairs.
You know what's very nice though is your mom was about to make a cup of coffee for herself. And I went down there and she literally told me like, oh, you can move my mug out of the way and make your coffee first. And
that is very sweet.
That's the sweetest thing.
Quick shout out to Let's Go Polt. They have just donated 100 bits. And the message they used is, gonna listen to the podcast. Cheers for the Terran sticker, heart. Hell yeah. That's a StarCraft fan right there. I'm a Toss, but I gotta love the Terran too.
Okay, see, I have a Terran hoodie and it just has the Terran symbol on the back. And I swear to you, all of you StarCraft fans, you will cringe. But there are people out there that have been like, oh, you like Legend of Zelda? And
it looks nothing like a Triforce.
I'm just like, why are you
by the way, are her earrings tonight.
Now? Oh, yeah, I have Triforce earrings on.
I'm looking behind the camera. Directly behind the camera is her scarf that has the symbols for Toss, Terran, and Zerg, which looks really good too.
Oh, thanks.
We're huge fucking nerds,
we're
as
very
you can
big nerds,
probably tell.
I was just like, how can you think that that's the Triforce at all? Like, you're obviously, one, not a StarCraft fan. Two,
not a Zelda
fan.
Not
a Legend of Zelda fan. Like,
you should be a fan of keeping your fucking mouth shut. Basically, is what she's saying.
So I'm just like, okay. Anyway, continuing on.
Yes, let's get back to it.
So the email continues. I'm 22 and will forever be single, though. You'll find someone.
Yeah, there's someone out there for everyone.
Yes.
When you listen, especially when you listen to true crime stuff, I think the My Favorite Murder ladies do it the best. They always mention how crazy these people were, and they had significant others. You know what I mean?
Not saying that you're crazy, Ashley.
No, what I'm saying is that if crazy people have a significant other and there's someone out there for those people, you're going to be fine. Don't stress about a dog. Okay. That's what I'm saying. There's someone out there for literally everyone.
Okay. Continuing on. Not too easy to find Hispanic dudes in Maryland my age that won't think I'm weird for liking scary things. That's so weird.
There's a phobia, too, with a lot of Hispanic and Latino culture. I know coming from a dad who would scream at me if I went Scooby-Dooing it all, be like, you won't live in this house no more. If you bring something back, you don't live here no more.
I got, why are you not a doctor yet?
Yeah. They're different things.
Okay, so anyway, I don't really
Quick
have
shout out to J.B. Watt, who just resubscribed for the third month in a row.
Thank you guys
J.B.
so
Watt.
much. I don't really have scary things to say, just some odd experiences that I don't know if they're paranormal or not. It's up to you. I grew up in an apartment complex, and the first 2 apartments I lived in, I always felt like someone was watching me. I lived there until I was 11 when we moved to the second apartment. I could never walk down the hallway or have doors open because of that feeling. I would also see things moving from my peripheral vision. Things would move.
I just got done telling someone. They asked me, like, hey, have you had a lot of emails about shadow people? And I was like, we do. And we also get emails about people seeing shit in their peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And they were like, it was weird. They were asking me that question, like, just to test the waters. Like, is this a common thing? And I was like, it is. You're probably being followed by a demon. So.
Who did you say that to?
Nick's girlfriend.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So she was just taking a general interest in the podcast while also telling us about Monster and Atlanta Monster. So shout out to Lindsay. Thank you for telling us about that. And definitely not Nick. Fuck you, Nick.
Okay. La 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 la, you made me lose my spot.
Sorry.
Okay. Things would move. Okay, so things would move, and to this day, I say my memory is bad because it's how my parents would put it. Oh, man, I can't. If my kid came up to me and was like, I see things, and once I turn to look at them, they're gone, I wouldn't say, like, you're remembering wrong. Like, why would you tell your kid that?
I think what she's saying here is that because things are moving, they're telling her she has a bad memory because you don't remember where you left something. Although that's a pretty good excuse. Like, anytime your kid tells you they see something, it's like, you're remembering your memories wrong. That just happened. Like, your brain is broken, child.
Whenever I felt someone was behind me, my mom would tell me it was my guardian angel. Until it's not, and it's a demon, and then you're dead.
So did the mom say that whole thing?
No.
Oh, okay, you chimed in on that one.
Like,
I really liked, we got an email before that talked about how, like, their family member died. I think it was their mother, and then all those toys activated. And like that initially it was like, maybe this is my mom saying hello or goodbye or something like that. And then she's like, no, this is something like malevolent.
Yeah.
Because it's like they try and convince you that it's a guardian angel. So, you know, be on your toes, people. Like,
yeah. Well, it's
someone's trying to catfish you and it's a demon.
Is it it's Annabelle creation where they think it's
an angel.
An angel. Oh, thank you so much, Meadows, for subscribing.
Shout out to Meadows. Also, I have a story I must tell you folks about
after this
the wonderful Meadows and how horrible of a human being I am.
So as soon as this email's done, you can tell the
story. Indeed,
story.
I will.
So, also, I've been practicing my psychic abilities, not talking to dead people, but more on trusting my instincts. However, I will say that I tried an app called Keen to Talk to Psychics when I was 18 because I wanted to know if I would find my significant other at some point. She told me that if I tried to rush things using social media or apps, nothing would work out and that the universe had things in store for me love-wise. That's very cool.
It's a good thing to hear.
Good thing to
That's
say.
a really good thing to hear.
However, of course, I completely forgot by the time I turned 21 and tried many apps at once like Tinder, Hinge, and others. I met a few guys, but only went on the date with one guy and instantly felt uncomfortable, like I was not supposed to do it, though I could not remember why. I ignored his texts after that because something felt wrong about the date. I ended up remembering about Keen, but not what the psychic had said, and went on to see what they would say. This psychic said I was trying too hard. I had not said anything at that point, and that the universe was already working on getting me to meet my SO, significant other.
Right.
I absolutely love you guys, and just a few things. Hashtag fuck yeah Savumafu. Hashtag I love sweet life of Zach and Cody. Hashtag couple goals. Oh, that's sweet.
That one's nice. I like that one.
Hashtag fuck basements and attics. Car ride to work saviors. Spotify for the win. Adam be nicer to Robin. And I'm done now. Okay, bye, Ashley.
So those are all hashtags?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That was a really good way to end it. So I am nice to Robin. Like, what the hell is that about? I will be nicer, though. I will try. I was very accommodating. I made breakfast today. I made dinner today. I shipped packages today. I did dishes today. I even got the computer up and running and got her emails ready to go when she was downstairs freaking out about getting that coffee.
I packaged the package. You just dropped it at the mail.
I know. I shipped it. I shipped it. I did not, like, package it. So, I don't know. That was a really good email, though. I do appreciate that. And that's another thing, too. I think when you're younger, you put some pressure on yourself thinking, like, I need to have found my soulmate by now. I don't know a lot of people that at 22 have found their soulmate, or even like the partner they would wind up marrying, or even the first marriage partner that they would find. Like, you're still quite young. You think, like, I'm getting into adulthood. You're starting to feel the pressure of responsibility. Don't rush shit. I was just talking to my friend. I know I just told him to fuck off or whatever, my friend Nick, but he's 34. I'm 33. We have some other friends in our group that are all 30s. None of us have kids. And when we're graduating high school at 18, we're all just like, we'll probably have kids by like 25, 26. And at 25, 26, I uprooted my life and moved out to Las Vegas. I was just like, I'm out of here. So it's like, things are not always going to go the way you think they are when you're very young. And like, when I look back at how I was when I was 18, I'm 33. I'm 15 years older than I was then, you know? I'm like, what a stupid asshole. You just get to a point where you identify with the parents in the Disney movies instead of the main characters. Where you're like, Ariel, like, you're a dumb bitch, man. You don't know anything. Like, oh, you're selling your voice to go meet a boy.
It just reminds me of me as a kid, where I was like, you don't love me or whatever. You won't let me do anything, and
you
it's
don't
just
know
like,
me and my boyfriend. We're gonna be together forever.
Well, technically, her and Eric were together forever.
No, I mean, it's a Disney movie, but I mean, you see that stuff growing up, and then when you get to be a parent, you're just like, I'm not even a parent, but like, I'm old enough to know when you look at like Anna and Elsa. It's like Elsa should have just fucking killed Hans right off the bat. You know what I mean? And I like that was the first Disney movie where it was just like, yeah, that was a big mistake. Like, you shouldn't trust a dude you just met.
She trusts Kristoff.
Yeah, but he's a good guy. He has a fucking reindeer. Come on. That's just a good sign. The animals like him.
Okay.
So, anyways, I don't even know what the email was about anymore. But still, I'm just totally kidding. I totally remember. But yeah, I'm just saying, don't put too much pressure on yourself to like find your significant other. And if things don't feel right, man, like especially when you're dating like blind date shit through apps like that.
Yes.
Don't even worry about it. Walk away. Sometimes you have to ghost some people because like there's been a lot of instances, especially when I listen to true crime stories, where it's like I felt uncomfortable and later I found out that they were like violent or they were like a serial killer or they had something very wrong with them, and I picked up on it at first. Don't blind yourself to red flags because you're lonely. It's a bad thing to do.
Oh, and don't let yourself get into situations like, okay, he hit me once, but it's okay.
You don't know him like I do.
Yeah, no, don't put yourself down like that. You deserve better.
Exactly. So right on. So before we move on to the next email, before we get on to the stream chat, I'm going to tell you guys a story about how much of a fucking idiot I am. So yesterday, this is totally true. Yesterday, we were supposed to go to have lunch/dinner. Actually, it was dinner. Straight up dinner. Dinner with our friend Meadows, who's in the chat right now. And it was at 6:30. It was supposed to be on the west side of town. And I told her it was going to be at 7 o'clock. And I didn't even think of it until 6:40 hit. And I got a text on my phone saying, hey, are you here? And I was like, oh, God, we're super late. Like, finish getting ready. We need to fucking go right now. So we hop in the car. I speed my way to what I thought was the correct place. And we got there about 35 minutes late for our dinner, and I'm walking around this fucking restaurant looking for our friends. Like, where are they? They said they were back here, being really rude to a waiter who's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Fuck off,
this
bro."
waiter's
Like,
probably like, "Who are you here to kill?"
legitimately, I was like, "Oh, we're meeting someone," you know. But I'm like getting annoyed because it's like, "Leave me alone. I'm trying to find someone. I'm really stressed right now. I'm super late." And then finally, she looks at me and she's like, "Where are we supposed to be?" And I was like, "The Summerlin Mall." And she's like, "We're in the Sunset Mall," which is like 45 minutes in the opposite direction. And I was just like, wow.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah, she just had it painted all over her face. And I was like, I texted Meadows. I called him and I was like, "I'm so sorry, bro. I went to the wrong side of town. This is all my fault." And I was like, "Let's take a selfie in front of the Red Robin." So like he knows that we actually are where we are. We're not fucking lying. And like the selfie is like me being like, "Sorry." And Robin being like, "I will fucking kill you." Like just not having it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was totally my mistake. This is my public apology. I'm saying sorry. And I also have something that I have to do at 8 o'clock. He demanded it of me. So my phone should go off at 8 and remind me to do it, and I will.
Okay.
So fun stuff. Now let's take a break and look over into Stream Chat and see what you wonderful folks had to say.
Cool.
I will take
You gotta
YouTube.
go first because I wasn't here in the beginning, so I have nothing from the beginning.
Okay. I will jump into YouTube, and then you jump into Twitch. Let me know where you're at in
Midway.
Twitch, and I'll scroll to the top.
Pancakes is the first one that I have.
Pancakes is the first one that you have. Pancakes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go all the way to the top.
So. Sweet.
Shout out to Karen. She was first in either channel over in YouTube. So YouTube wins this episode. Congratulations. People over there, Jay says, "All right, gang, I got no school tomorrow, and I'm ready to get this bread." That is hilarious. I'm glad you don't have school tomorrow. That's a good thing.
Get this bread?
It's what the kids call money.
Oh, wow. I feel old.
That's hilarious.
Is that horrible? I'm just like so out of the loop, and it's so frustrating. Especially today was my first day of school, and going into class, it's all these kids that I swear have to be 5-6 years younger than me, and they're just like, "You do this, 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 and this, and that's how you get the answer." And I'm just like, what?
Fuck you, you little bastard.
But then I get vindicated, and the teacher actually gives the correct answer, and they're like, "The professor's wrong." And so they look it up on their computer, and they're like, "Oh, we're wrong." Like, yeah, that's your generation's little attitude of feeling like superior.
They're in your generation
crushed.
too, I'm just saying. I just think it's funny because you're like, "Yeah, fuck you. We're both idiots. Suck it. You thought you were smart, you little bastard."
It's just so...
The Snark said, "This will be my first live podcast with my husband. Hella excited."
Oh, hello.
Shout out to the Snarked husband. Hello. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have you here. There's a little bit of chit-chat going on here.
Oh, Pancakes brought their baby to the live show, introducing them to story times.
Welcome, baby.
It'll be like their first story time. You know how when you go to the library and you sit your kids down for the books to be read?
Yeah.
This is your first story time.
So you're caught up to where I am then, because you actually got in here in time to get most of the Twitch chat.
Oh,
so
sweet.
I'm going to jump over into YouTube and we can go back and forth. So don't worry, emo pencil case. We're glad that you made it, and it sucks that your phone died. So
let's see.
I made the Google Home light up. That's good to know. I'm pretty proud of that.
Google Home?
Because I said all the device
Oh,
names
really?
and
It
everything.
worked?
Yeah,
That's
it worked for
hilarious.
someone.
Chessy Cat says, "It was a great episode. One of my faves. What episode?" I missed it. I don't know what episode.
I don't know. I can go back and check it, but
This is a shit show.
okay, cool. I'm gonna go back and check it now. So
Thanks.
rather than just picking something else to read.
La, la, la. Oh, Ori asks how the interview went. Your job interview.
It went very well. I think I interview very well. I was thinking about it on my drive home, and I was like, have you ever had an interview where you didn't get the job? And on the drive home, I was going through all my jobs that I've ever had, and the answer is no. I've never had an interview where I didn't get the job. And after that, immediately I had the thought was like, maybe you're due. And I was like, fuck, don't think that. Put positive shit out in the universe.
I have had interviews where I did not get the job, but it's because I did not have confidence in myself and literally told the interviewer there are people that are far more suited for this job than I am.
You're an idiot.
I am an idiot. Future reference, guys. Do not say that in an interview.
So shout out to KebKeb, who just resubscribed for the 5th month in a row. KebKeb said, Resident Evil 2 in 2 days, smiley face.
I saw the girls from What's Good Games.
Right
She's
on.
been posting it on Twitter.
I don't know if we ever mentioned this. She met, what's her name?
Brittany?
Brittany, not Andrea. She met Brittany at E3 this year, and I was sitting in the very front stage. I could have spit I could have spit on the head of Phil Spencer. I could have spit on Phil Spencer if I wanted to. Fuck you, slut. I hate you so much.
Okay.
It used to be a running joke for our old nerdy video game podcast that Robin slept with Phil Spencer.
I haven't.
But anyways, so she was sitting further back. I'm like, for once I have better seats than her. For once I'm in a more exclusive spot. And then she met Brittany from What's Good Games. I was like, what the fuck? Like, she doesn't
And
even
Andrea
really.
Too.
Did you meet Andrea too?
Yeah.
I never met Andrea. I've seen her walk by at a lot of events,
right?
but the redhead,
Yeah.
the very short redhead. But she's like the hardest working woman in video games, and she's supposed to be super nice. But anyways,
Yeah.
we digress. I'm still searching for the one thing Robin had to check and see.
It's funny because I was like, oh, what do you do? And she's like, oh, we do a podcast called What's Good Games. I was like, what's Good Games? and I told Adam, and he's just like, I hate you so much.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's a big thing. Like, she's like, Andrea's on Kind of Funny. I don't know if she still is. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm not seeing the reference to which episode that they were talking about. I'm hoping that she was talking about the most recent episode, but I don't know, because I think I mentioned it in chat. Okay, I'm going back to YouTube now.
Okay,
so
you
you
go.
handle your Twitch chat.
All right. Jang me asked if he picked your outfit out. Yes, he did pick his outfit out. Oh, for tonight? Yes. But the cheerleading one we haven't figured out yet. We will probably have to order something.
Yeah, I'll probably order a Halloween costume, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to shave my legs. I was checking my legs out when I was doing camera testing today, and I think they're going to look good. We've also decided that for the leg shaving / nairing...
We are going to make a whole video about, like, segmenting his legs off, and we're going to do, like, nair, wax, shaving. Like, it's going to be...
They had to talk me into the waxing thing. I really don't want to do the waxing thing.
It's going to be fun. My sister and I know how to do it. It'll be fine.
I've had my back waxed before. FYI, I'm a hairy dude. I'm actually not wearing a shirt right now. This is all hair. But she waxed my back once before, and I can honestly say that I believe it to be the most painful experience of my life. And it took forever because my entire back is hairy. And it's like how they tell you, like, pull in the direction the hair grows or whatever. It grows in all wild directions.
Yeah.
Each pore that has a hair coming out of it has, like, 4 hairs sprouting from it, and they all go in different directions, like flower petals. So it was fucking awful is what I'm saying. So I'm not looking forward to my legs getting waxed. But expect that to be on YouTube in the next couple weeks. Shout out to the Snark, who just resubscribed for the 5th month in a row, and he said, I swear I'll catch up soon. Take your time. I'm
glad there's
I love having a backlog
though.
of a show. I just finished Adventure Zone again and then caught up to the new episodes again, and now I'm caught up on my other podcast. I don't know what to listen to, and it's a really scary, daunting feeling.
I hear the monster's good.
I do hear Monster's good.
Glitch says Zergrush. That's hilarious. For those of you that don't know, it's a StarCraft reference. You guys should play it. It's pretty fun.
Jay says, we love Robin's pigtails.
Oh, really?
That's to you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
You're Robin. Those are your pigtails.
Then there, Chessie Cat says, my mom likes haunted things and likes to stay in haunted places.
That's cool.
I think that's hilarious. I was talking about our next goal, our next Patreon goal, the 100
patrons
goal of going to the Stanley Hotel. And I was talking to my coworkers about it, and they were saying that they have had friends that have stayed there and actually seen things.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Most of what I hear from people when I bring it up is like, it's not haunted. And I'm like, okay, cool. I still want to go there and investigate a little bit.
That's what I hear about the Winchester. It's not creepy. It's just really cool to look at.
I'm cool with either one. I want to go back. J-Bay Watt subscribed for their 3-month resub, and they put a message that I did not read. And if I did, I already forgot about it. But it says, heart, 3 months, yay for 50 patrons. I want to point out, and I'm going to mention this before I get into my next story, because I'm going to do the whole JPP thing, January Patreon push.
Oh my gosh, JPP, shut up.
Anyways, we were at 51 when we recorded on Monday. We are now at 50 because things do happen with our patrons. They have to unsubscribe for a little while. They only intend to, sign up for a specific amount of time. So we're at 50. And I listened back, and I have stated multiple times that if we finish the month at 50, I'm going to do all these things. And I'm already committed to buying this thing, to this cheerleader outfit, and doing this stuff with my legs. So we need to make sure we don't drop below 50. So if anyone out there is like, I'm still thinking about it, and you're thinking about like donating $1 right now, go over to patreon.com instead and just sign up. That's just the way we can make sure we take care of it, right?
Yep.
Not crazy about that. Cool. So it looks like Karen already has to go. I know some of you folks before the show started said that you weren't going to be able to stay too long. We do appreciate you folks joining us. Leo says, Robin, I love the pigtails.
Yay. I'm glad they don't look absolutely atrocious. They're like crazy. They're super messy, and they were curled at one point, and now it's just like bleh. So I don't even know what I'm doing. Ulrich says that she has a blind date on Sunday and is nervous and excited. I hope it goes well and they're not a serial killer.
Yep. That's always the hope. I had someone literally tell me on a blind date, like, please don't be a serial killer. And I was like, I'm not. Please don't be a serial killer back.
You should just be like, I mean, what are the odds?
What are the odds there's 2 serial killers on this date?
Anyway, let's see. There are so many things.
Leo Cha-Cha says, nerds are cool. I learned to embrace my inner nerd and dork. I don't know. I think it's just all, like everyone says, like, it's about confidence. It's just about showing that you actually enjoy the things that you enjoy. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm reading this book about Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a huge fucking nerd. It's given to me by our friend Steve, who supports the show. And it's really cool because it talks about how he was just really into this stuff. He was never ashamed of it. And it was like miniatures, just building stuff like that. And he just had these different ideas on how he can make it more fun and nerdier. And it was literally like, what if we incorporated like stuff from like Tolkien, where it's like elves and giants and all this other fun stuff. So they made like just a miniature set where you can battle like armies, like actual historical battles. And they're like, let's add in a fantasy guide where people can use stuff. And if they want to have like ogres or goblins or whatever, they can. And like, that's basically like how D&D got started, which is now fucking huge. And it was just one dude who embraced the fact that he was nerdy and he enjoyed it and he found other people like that. And he encouraged people to do stuff like that.
I had no idea they started Gen Con.
Yeah, that's where Gen Con came from. It was
like,
started by Gary Gygax, who invented Dungeons and Dragons with a couple other people. But I was just reading and I'm like, this is so fascinating to read about people who are just like, I embrace the things I'm into and great things come from that. And it's just a good reminder when you're reading stuff that's like, you know, biography style stuff where it's like, just do what makes you happy and things will like eventually work out.
I would like to point out my Mystic Messenger shirt. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played Mystic Messengers.
I hate you
it's like
so
a
much.
mobile phone game, but like I saw it on clearance and I was just like, I have to have it because Mystic Messenger is like my boys.
Wow.
I told Adam, I was like, it's like I'm surrounded by my boys now. Because I just love that game, and it's so fun.
She was like, this is a Mystic Messenger shirt. I was like, isn't that a cell phone game? She's like, yeah. So what? It's like, whatever. Emo Pencil Case over on YouTube says, the amount of stickers on Robin's computer compared to Adam's is just A+. Hers is much older than mine. I will say that. And I don't know. I use most of my stickers that I usually decorate shit with on my work laptop, which was taken away from me in June. So I was like, enjoy this nerdy fucking thing. Have fun with all these Triforces. I had every DBZ bad guy somewhere on my laptop, too.
Oh, my God.
Shout out
Meadows.
to A Meadows 1127, which has got to be the panda. Thank you so much for following us. Sorry for fucking standing you up last night. We really sincerely apologize. It's all my fault.
But no, I have built up my sticker collection. Like I was just telling Adam the other day that I think I need to reset my stickers on my laptop and just scrape them off and start over again because I have so many that I need to just swap them out.
Scraping off is such a daunting task.
Yeah. But
Rigo Marin over on YouTube says, love this podcast.
Yay! Let's see.
Leo Cha-Cha says, what did you make for dinner? I made ribs on the grill and I have a really good rub that I use and it was really, really, really good. So very, very happy about it. Jace Leave Me Alone on YouTube says, my generation just hate themselves. That's hilarious. I think that's really accurate.
What? Wait, what?
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to read at the same time as listen. It's really hard.
I'm almost done. Talon says, I went to the Zach Bagels Haunted Museum, and I got to admit, even though he's a dramatic boy, they had the Dybbuk box, and I saw it and thought of you guys. Aww. I'm glad you see stuff in his museum and think of us.
Yeah, so, that's really sweet.
If he wasn't, it's not just that he's dramatic, it's just that he seems fake. And when you deal with stuff that's paranormal, when you have a person who seems like they're putting it on for the camera, it just like takes away from like any sort of goodwill you could have in an audience that might be skeptical. People immediately just can be like, everything you're saying is a lie. So I hate the way he does things, but whatever.
The Snarked also recommends Critical Role as a D&D podcast for any of you guys that are interested.
Critical Role is like Adventure Zone on crack. So
let's see. Oh, is it? Like more intense like D&D?
Critical Role is actually sponsored by Dungeons and Dragons at this point, by Wizards of the Coast. But it's like they're all voice actors. And it's like super intense. It really follows the rules. There's a whole like thing online about real play when it comes to D&D podcasts where like, are you really following the rules to a T? And Adventure Zone gets a lot of criticism for that because they only did 69 episodes of D&D and then they switched to other things because they're just trying out a bunch of different games to play for funsies.
Yeah.
But people are like, you guys don't adhere to the rules enough. And they're like, we just make it fun. Like, they've cast a spell before where it's like, that takes 10 minutes of concentration time and you let them cast it as an instant. What the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
And so they're just like, shove it up your ass, bro. Like, we're just having fun. And it just, Critical Role, they really take the shit seriously. They follow the rules. And he has like a really in-depth storyline. So it's really good. I've listened to it, but not as in-depth as I have with Taz. So.
All right. I think when we tried to record our first session of D&D that one time with like 8 people or however many people we had, 6 people?
6 people.
It was a lot of people. And
I had to buy a new audio interface so we could support
our
enough
friend
microphones.
Steve had an amazing voice.
Yeah. Steve is my DM. Steve's the one who gave me the D&D book that I'm reading, and Steve will be eventually in a game that I will DM. And it's like, it's so much pressure because he does voices for all the characters. He does sound effects and stuff like that.
I didn't do a voice for my character, but I was a cat.
Robin roleplays an asshole every time we roleplay because she's always roleplaying against me as the DM, and she just tortures every character that we come across because she knows it's me who has to like control them.
So I was a cat, and everything I did was either a cat pun or like I think I got a kid to follow me around with like a ball of string.
There was basically a kid that was kidnapped. They rescued them, and Robin was like the caretaker before they delivered them home. The whole hook in this D&D campaign that we started, the reason we were recording is we were going to start a D&D podcast because I was really jazzed up on it. Schedules don't really work out that way. As anyone who's ever tried to do anything with friends, especially like a D&D game where you meet every week or every other week, scheduling is a fucking nightmare. So having that many people meet consistently enough to have content to release like consistently was just like, cool, let's just shut this thing down before we go any further. I still own dndpod.com though. That is my shit. That is my domain. And
it's fucked up.
Who knows? Maybe sooner or later. I've been talking with Steve actually because when we start this new game where I'm going to DM it, I'm like, I have some really good ideas and it'll be really fun. And I know the crew we're going to play with is going to be awesome. Should we record it? And he's like, here's the thing. If you don't record it and it's really good, you'll never be able to get those episodes back. But if you record it and it's not great, you don't have to use it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yeah. We might be announcing something in the next couple months where it's like another podcast.
This took quite the tangent.
Yeah, this has been a really long chat session.
Ori asked if it was a tabaxi, and it is. Yes. I was a tabaxi.
She's a tabaxi ranger. She's always a fucking ranger. She always crits on everything.
I was a mage at one point.
Were you?
Yeah.
A what?
Mage.
They don't have those classes in D&D.
Whatever. Sorcerer, a magician,
wizard,
sorcerer.
warlock.
I had magic things that came out of my fucking fingers.
Okay, cool.
God. All right. Chessie Cat says, my uncle used to live in Estes Park and told me that he wouldn't go to the Stanley Hotel. I still want to go, and it's sad that I haven't because I live an hour and a half away. Maybe when we go there, we can all go. That'd be great.
777 said, really cool. Adam, your lips look luscious tonight. That's because they are chapped and cracked and have been bleeding. So they are in bad shape. My nose this morning, Robin looked at it. She's like, your nose is like cracked on the top. I thought she meant it was chapped. Like, no, straight up, my nose was so chapped, my skin cracked on my nose like I'm a fucking coke fiend because I've had a little bit of a cold. So I fought it off, but now I'm suffering the ill effects. So I'm glad it makes it look good on camera. Anyways, okay, this is a long tangent. We need to get back eventually to these
Jamie
emails.
Jamie said, I met my ex on Tinder, and when he picked me up, I cracked his door just enough to look at him and asked if he was an axe murderer. I don't want to be rude because I don't know. Because when I was still single, I would use Tinder. Wasn't around when I was still single. That's how old I am. So it was Plenty of Fish. Everyone used Plenty of Fish. And the thing about Plenty of Fish is everyone used it to find people to fuck. And I don't think anyone was using it for like, let's get together and have a good time. So POF really standed for place of fuck.
Sure. Yeah, pretty much. But that said, like, I wonder with Tinder, because all I've ever heard about Tinder is like, it's just used the same way that POF was used back in the day. So I didn't realize people would actually date through Tinder. I thought it was just like casual hookup type thing. I don't know. I don't know. They mentioned something about another one besides Tinder in the email we just read. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is either. It's probably a good thing.
Oh, the Hinge?
Hinge, yeah.
Yeah, I have never used a dating app, so I don't know how they work.
I don't know.
I'm not good at it.
All right. Here's the thing. Grindr. I know what Grindr is. My boss told me what Grindr was. Okay, because he would walk. I swear to God, we had a staff of 300 people, and my boss used to be like, you know what I like doing? I like getting on Grindr and walking through the staff to see when it tells me who else is on Grindr that's nearby me because they're working right now.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, that's fucked up, but that's hilarious. All right.
Sure, your boss.
It was. I'm not going to say who it was. The snark probably knows exactly who I'm talking about, though.
Let's see. Aw, the snark says, OMG, Adam and Robin, guest appearance in my campaign. That'd be super cool.
I have a level 6 barbarian / level 1 warlock right now, and he is a fucking madman. So.
All right. Okay, your turn. Go read.
Your boss. Everyone's making fun of me. Legit, it was my boss. It wasn't me. So, okay. I'm marking it. We're getting into another horror story now, or homegrown horror, or whatever we call them. I've already forgotten.
Jeebus.
So this one was sent to us, I believe, on Twitter or Instagram. It was actually sent directly to me. So it's going to be addressed to me. Don't be offended that they forgot you. So this is a story from Ted. So it's Ted.
Who's Ted?
Probably Ted Mosby. Messaging us from the fictional universe that he lives in. And it says, hey, Adam. Hello. I knew you weren't going to. I want to tell you my own homegrown horror. I was coming home from high school, and like most adolescents, I was exhausted from the tyranny that is school. That is a great sentence, and I love it. I opened my door and realized nobody was home, so I figured it'd be in my best interest to pass the fuck out on the couch. The second my head touched the sofa's fabric cushion, I heard voices. Not one, not two, but as if there was a party of them whispering doubts in my ear.
No way.
I could hear them, but at the same time, there were too many to focus on just one. I managed to get a quote, and this is, okay, I managed to get this, and this is the quote. You're nothing but shit. Nobody in this house loves you, and die. When I woke up, there was the part where I, like any sane human being, would leave the house. Instead, I looked around, said, and went back to sleep.
Oh my goodness.
No ghost would shake the tiredness that I had that day. I also had a few more encounters every time I would be home alone. I have these little Jesus blocks that spell out Jesus, and more times than not, the J of the Jesus blocks would fall forward. Now, the little blocks were placed on a shelf made of glass, a single shelf, mind you. There was no way it would just fall. I wonder if you touched like the thing with a level, if you'd find out that it was actually slanted. But who knows?
It's the spirit of Jesus telling you his name is not spelled with
it's
a J.
actually Jesus. In Jehovah, or no, in Latin, Jehovah begins with an I. So, anyways,
you're watching too much Indiana Jones.
We binged all the Indiana Joneses that are worth watching, so we left out the last one. It had to be pulled by something because they were right against the wall. Okay. No bang from the opposite side, and nothing was home, and nothing that was home alone. So it was weird because it kept doing this time and time again.
That's
it never really bothered me that much. That would kind of bother me a little bit.
That would bother me.
That would just be like, the crucifixes on my wall just randomly burst into flames. But aside from the smoke, it never really bothered me that much. That's fucking creepy. Should bother you. I just kind of ignored it and kind of taunted them by saying, is that all you got?
Oh my goodness. Hey demons, it's me, your boy.
I don't want to tell you what to do with your paranormal experiences. And if you want to taunt shit, that's fine. But before you do so, I'm going to go ahead and go back to recommending going Facebook Live just in case something horrible happens to you. It will be recorded. And funny enough, it was. Nothing much happened. But I do have a few more I can type to you guys later. I'm kind of behind on the show. And in parentheses, he says, I know, blasphemy. I actually think it's more common to be behind on a show than to be caught up. So don't ever worry about it.
I listened to last podcast on the left, and I am got to be at least 200 episodes behind.
We got into the car, and it was still connected to her phone. And last podcast on the left kicked on. And her sister was like, oh, guess who it is? Because she thought it was my voice. And I'm like, oh, no. Robin doesn't listen to our podcast. Don't worry about that. So they're behind on the podcast. The Picardcast. Oh, my God.
The Picardcast.
The Picardcast. There's a podcast called The Greatest Generation, I'm pretty sure. And it's just all about Star Trek. And I'm just like, that is such a good fucking name. I don't watch Star Trek, but I'm like, I kind of want to listen to it. All right. I'll be trying my best to binge listen. That's all I have for now. I love you guys and keep up the good work. Even when I'm not listening to you guys, I still think about you both. Much love from your friendly ghoul. Thank you so much, Ted. Nice. We appreciate you sending that into us. And
even though you didn't talk about me.
He does say I love you both.
Yeah, well,
so
next time.
You didn't give the greeting, but I think this is because it came directly to my personal account. So no big deal. Don't feel too bad. And Robin just did the jerk-off motion and flung it in my face. She did that to me at a the screening. It would be a different story if it was the filming. The screening of Iron Man 3 that we got to see early. So there's a bunch of people with their kids, and we're just talking, and Robin just like does the jerk-off motion and flings it in my face. In like the middle of the theater before the show's on, in front of all these kids. And I just snapped. I'm like, well, she was inappropriate. So I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're just going to jerk off and throw your jizz in my face in front of all these kids? I didn't even know what that is, but they're just going to remember when they get older. Like, oh, that dude's face was covered in cum. And she's just like looking at me like, is this just happening right now?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then we watched Iron Man 3, which I was very disappointed with.
Aww.
It's just, I was really excited to see the Mandarin. It was fucking Sir Ben Kingsley. And it's like,
she's just so pretty all the time.
Yeah, she is. Cool. Sir Ben Kingsley was supposed to be the Mandarin. And then they're just like, oh, he's fake. He doesn't actually exist. I was like, wow. That would be like if you're watching The Dark Knight and they're like, the Joker's actually fake. He's just an actor. It just pissed me off real bad. So cool. Let's look into the stream chat and see what you amazing folks had to say.
Meadows said that Gragnak needs to start cleaving people again, which is his character.
I think I've talked about it before. I don't know if we've talked about it on this podcast, but the funniest fucking thing that's ever happened in any campaign I've been a part of, I was DMing, Meadows was playing, she was playing, Amanda, who's in the chat, was playing, and CJ, who occasionally is in the chat, was playing. He was my old co-host. And things just went wrong. Let's just say that. I gave Meadows a weapon that I still think is one of the coolest things I've ever thought up, where it's a basic piece of shit, giant great axe that's two-sided. But if you sacrifice a little tiny portion of your overall hit points by putting your hand across the blade, it like glows. It turns into this blood axe, and it gets increased stats for a temporary amount of time. And it's like, it'll just be this epic thing for this badass to do before battle, you know, like sacrifice some hit points, but you're going to do a shit ton of damage. And it basically was him negotiating with a vendor who stole his money, who like didn't realize because he was too dumb that he knew that he had stuff stolen from him. And he's like, you're going to give me my money back? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, friend. And Meadows like activated the axe like right in front of the guy's fucking face. And like, I rolled again and the guy's like, he's not intimidated. So he's just like, you can leave now. And he wound up just cutting him in half. And it was a fucking riot. And we had a code word where if things went wrong, she would know to go inside the building. And the code word was Karakakash.
So everyone's just yelling Karakakash.
As soon as that happened, I was just like, did this just fucking happen? And CJ just started screaming in the house, Karakakash. I was fucking dying laughing. It was super funny. I'm sorry about the tangent.
Yeah, there's a lot of D&D this episode.
There is.
D&D. Okay, anyway. So, Trip7 says, reminds me of how my friend's brother asked a ghost to fight him instead of haunting his house.
That's fucking funny.
Albrain says, hello, first time seeing the new camera. Looks really good. We're glad it looks good. It's definitely not
fish-eyed.
Yeah,
so happy.
Fish-eyed, fish-bowled, whatever. Lenses.
Lenses.
I think it looks a whole lot better.
Jay says I taunt my demons all the time. Raw shea butter, Adam. Raw shea butter. So that was from Taylor.
That's for your lips and nose and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually have a chapstick for my lips, and I have a chapstick for my nose when I get a cold. But like, I bought them and they just disappeared. No, I try and not mix them up. I really don't care. But at the same time, it's like I'd like to have one for one. So whatever. It doesn't matter. Thank you for the tip. I'll try and get this fixed.
Jangmi says, my mom loves to scheme. She finessed my best friend in high school and got free fried noodles for a year.
Wow.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Minnie Maria over in YouTube says, wait, are you guys really live now, or is this a replay? And then later on I saw down here it said, I just found the podcast 2 days ago and suddenly got the idea to search the YouTube channel, and they're live. This is the best coincidence ever. Welcome, Minnie Maria. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
new listeners are so exciting because I wonder if we're reaching new people or not, or we're just like sticking with the same core audience. And it's really happy to know that more people are listening. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for popping in. We do this every Wednesday at 6:30. Storytime episodes are live.
Oh my God, Meadow says it was an amazing night. CJ burned a kid's body.
that was a different night. That was a different night. I think that was the night where Amanda's like, I'm not playing with you guys anymore.
Let's see, lots of D&D talk. You guys, even if you don't have friends that live in your local area that play D&D, there are groups online that you can join and play D&D with people.
There's free services where you can get like the boards online and you can just move, like get a piece to move your stuff. They're actually really convenient, like D20. There's something called Fantasy Grounds where you can build your campaign out. That's what Steve does our campaign in, and it's really, really helpful. So yeah, fun stuff. Leo Chacha says, awesome. I found this podcast last year and I love them. Their banter is hilarious. I always worry, like, at the end of a tangent where I'm like, how many listeners or viewers did we just lose? We're like, I fucking hate these guys. Like, I always have that thought in the back of my head.
Ori says, every time I talk to someone about podcasts, I suggest you guys.
Aw.
That's very sweet. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it because we've run out of people to talk to about it because
We don't have that many friends. We don't have that many friends. We don't go that many places.
Anyway, let's see. Should I go into my story?
I think there's one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Flora Navarro says, I listen to you guys all the time. In the morning when I'm cooking breakfast or getting ready to work, sometimes I make spin to make sure there's no ghost behind me. I also listen to you guys when I drive anywhere. Thank you so much. That's me with Adventure Zone. I always have them on in the background. It's funny because Steve had mentioned that D&D is his most powerful antidepressant. And I'm like, Adventure Zone's my most powerful antidepressant. I just started re-listening to it like when I got laid off because I was like, this is something fun. I'm pretty sure I've listened to it twice since being laid off. So everyone just right now, together with me, cross your fingers and hope that I get this fucking job because it would be a really good job to get. I'd be really happy. And then I can come and like let you guys know like, oh, awesome news. Like the show won't stop, but I am employed again. So maybe I can, spend some money on things besides just bills.
All right. So this next email addresses both of us.
Well, really quickly, I hate to break in here, but I was supposed to do this before I read my first one. Just a quick reminder to people who are listening. This is January, and you know what that means. JPP, that's right, January Patreon push. So we hit 51. I said that on my last episode. After looking back in, after recording that, we were at 50. Because things do change, and people do have to remove their donations or whatever. So if you folks are still thinking about signing up, please don't think because we hit the goal that it's the time to stop. That means it's the time to push even further past it and make sure we don't fall backwards. So go to Patreon. I was going to say January. Go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast right now. If you've ever considered signing up, it's $1 a month. It'll take it out right away. So if you have $1 on your debit card or your credit card and you're like, I can do that right now, go and do it right now. Let us be that impulse buy. Don't buy that candy bar, folks. Buy some Scary-ish.
Don't judge me. I can buy a candy bar if I fucking want to.
I was like, why is she yelling at me right now? I'm so confused. But yeah, please go do that. You get early access to all our episodes, and all the other tiers give you additional stuff as well. We appreciate everyone who's signed up so far, and we appreciate everyone who listens, regardless of whether or not you donate financially. But January Patreon push is the best time to go sign up, and we appreciate every single one of you that does that. So I'm sorry for interrupting the email. You can get back to it now.
All right.
Sorry for apparently judging you for trying to convince people to spend $1 on us. So.
No, I can buy a chocolate bar if I want.
Yeah, but you already support us, so there you go. Thank you for that.
So this email starts, Hey, Robin and Adam. Hey.
Hello.
The first story here is titled My Ghost Story, and it goes, well, as I said at Disneyland, hold on. It's from Billy. Okay, so these guys were so cool. They literally stopped us while we're at Disneyland on Main Street, and we're just like, are you guys Robin and Adam from the Scary Podcast? And we're like, holy shit, this is happening.
What was cool is that we were having the meetup day, and we had a nice little group of people, and we were walking around Disney. So we thought they were just like, oh, we're here for the meetup,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are you guys here for the meetup? And they're like, oh, no, we don't really use social media too much. Like, we didn't know. They just ran into us. And, like, when we were driving home that night, like, I took off the ears that were made for us. Who made those for us?
Sarah.
Sarah made those for us.
Yeah.
And I was taking them off, and I just, like, set them down. And, like, we sat down in the car, and we had, like, a 4-hour drive ahead of us.
Yeah.
And I was like, did we fucking get recognized today? Like, is this real life? Like, it was just such a bizarre feeling. But we hung out with them.
We hung out with them all day. And it was absolutely amazing. It was so fun to get to talk to people and hang out with people and hear their stories.
They bought us something. We were going through. We always
were going
walk
through the world of Disney. So we went through the world of Disney. And we always do because we always buy like a souvenir, some sort of tchotchke or something to bring home. And like we're just going through, talking to them, hanging out with them, and then at the end of the night, after we went shopping,
we were about to get on the tram.
Yeah, and they're like, "Here you go," and they had bought us Disney stuff, and I was like, "Oh,
they were paying attention to things we were picking up and putting back, and they bought us some of the stuff, and I was just like, "You guys really don't have to do this." Nice. It was so nice. It was absolutely so nice.
They're so nice. You guys are amazing.
Cool.
Shout out to you. Okay.
So now we're gonna read your stories.
So, you can share this in whatever format you want, which we will. I don't know how to start this, but here we go. I'm born and raised in San Diego and lived in an area called Spring Valley. Some consider it a ghetto, but it's a pretty quiet area with a yo dog mentality.
That's hilarious.
Living in an Asian family, they are very fun. Living in an Asian family, they are very fond of gambling. I can attest to this.
Right
My family does it all the time.
Your dad hit big, too, one time, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was like 3.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I wonder if everyone who's like a consistent gambler, but not like a compulsive gambler, will eventually hit big, or if it's just some people.
All I know is I was a little babe. Maybe I was younger than 3. I don't know. But I was sleeping, and I guess my mom had put me down for a nap or something. But I had randomly gotten up. Like, I just woke up and laughed hysterically. And I think my mom was in Texas, and my dad was in Vegas doing his thing. But I woke up laughing hysterically. My mom's like, what the fuck is going on? And immediately after, my mom gets a phone call from my dad, like, dude, I just hit like a 25K jackpot. Like, it was insane.
So it's like his joy transferred to you via telekinetic or telepathic link.
I am just like my dad. Like, I have my dad's personality, and my sister has my mom's personality. Well, my younger sister has my mom's personality. And so I think that that's just like how it kind of worked out. Like, you have certain connections to certain people, like twins and stuff like that. But
you just sat up and started cackling.
Yeah, and as soon as I had gotten up, I just went back down. I just fell back asleep.
If you sit up in the middle of the night and laugh and start cackling, I'm going to shake you like, what did we win? Tell me.
That'd be amazing. Anyway, okay. Continuing on. Agents, family, gambling. So, as a wee lad of 6, I was left home alone numerous times during the nights. I shared a room with my mom and grandma. Co-sleeping is very common in Asian culture.
Which I did not realize until recently, I think.
In that room, there is a king-size bed that my grandma slept in while my mom and I had a gigantic futon, which was bigger than the king-size bed, and was on the floor. My mom's a germaphobe, so it was very clean in that room. Besides the bed, we had a balcony and a skylight-like window thing on the wall. The balcony is a giant glass sliding door with a screen door on the outside and has curtains to keep out the light. It's big enough to where you can put down a sleeping bag and make a makeshift blanket for it to sleep outside. I
cool.
would do it.
This is a good description because I can really see this room in my mind's eye right now.
I can just see the balcony and just imagine myself making a fort out there.
That's funny.
It'd be super cute and super
You're never
fun.
too old to build a fort.
No, except I hate spiders. And when I lived in Hawaii, I would have never built a fort out on our balcony because they had those zip spiders, the ones that would make.
I'm like, want to interrupt you right now and be like, don't tell me another version of this creature that I'm terrified of.
It's like a black and yellow spider. They're huge. They're like that
Steelers
big.
fans.
So they're like that big, and they make these giant webs, and on those webs, they make like little zippy designs on them too, like thicker webbing in like.
Do they write stuff like
chevron.
pig? That's a Charlotte's Web reference. You also said they're about this big and showed me and the viewers, but all our listeners have no idea how big you're talking about.
Okay, it's like a
$50.
I don't know what a $50 looks like.
Are you fucking kidding me? How old are you? You've never seen a $50?
Show us the dollar.
Is it like double the size of a quarter?
It's like no, I'd say it's a $50. That's a $50, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A
yeah,
$50.
It's a $50.
Or silver dollar.
But
if you like.
I would never, ever, ever make a fort out there because the last thing I want is one of them crawling into my ear.
Jesus.
Anyway, moving on.
You're inspiring a lot of tangents, which means it's just a really good email that touches us.
It's big enough to where you can put down a sleeping bag, make a fort.
Got it.
So one night, my family decided to go gambling, and on most occasions, my mom closes the balcony curtains because a street light would peer through the balcony doors. On this occasion, she didn't because she wanted airflow to come in to keep the room cool because it was summer. And I remember waking up with a street light glaring in my face.
Hate having light on your face when you wake up.
But it was a school night, and I instantly looked at the clock, thinking it was time to get ready for school, but it was only 3 o'clock. I looked around the room trying to see if anyone was home. Since my mom wasn't next to me, I figured that they went to go play, and as I looked around, I noticed something that wasn't as bright as the room was. As my eyes focused, I noticed it was like a humanoid figure. I tilted my head, and it started to wave at me.
What the
As
fuck?
my child brain started to buffer, I noticed something was off.
Loading.
I like the
Loading.
I noticed something was off. I was able to see all of the figure. Half of the figure was coming out of the wall, and the other half was outside.
Get the fuck out of here.
Basically, the figure was floating, half of it inside the room and the other half dangling outside. It looked like the door was cutting the ghost in half. I couldn't make out any details of the ghost, but I didn't feel any maliciousness from it either. Basically, what happened during that encounter was that it waved at me, I waved back, and it went on for about 10 minutes. How'd I know it was 10 minutes? Was because I looked at the clock again, and it was 3:10 to Yuma.
Wow. Well done.
I turned back.
Did you, like, wave it away, like, go away?
No,
or
I just imagined like this. Like a.
Do you think
like
it was 10 minutes of waving and staring? Or do you think it was, like, a wave and then just a consistent staring, like, so what are you going to do?
I just imagined 10 minutes of consistent
waving.
It's
interesting.
Well, you're a kid. You know what I mean? You're just like.
I would start busting out all my waves. Single hand, double hand.
Princess.
Jazz hands. Princess. Double princess. I just ran out of them. I would not have made it 10 minutes.
Okay, so 3:10, I turned back towards the balcony and it was closed. I'm just kidding, but it was still in the same spot. Oh, it was close. I read that wrong.
You want to just reread that whole part then?
Yes. So 3:10, I turned back towards the balcony and it was close. I'm just kidding, but it was still in the same spot. So it didn't go away. After I looked at it again, I told it I was going back to bed and it nodded.
Wow.
Shut up.
Maybe this was a guardian angel. We've talked about that already once on the show where it's like you interpret something one way. It could be something different.
Maybe it was because the parents were gone and by himself, a kid by himself, door open. You know what I mean? Maybe it was watching over the kid.
Maybe.
I remember laying down and waking up the next day like nothing happened. I told my mom about what happened, and she asked me what color it was. I told her that it was a black figure, and she said that it's okay, even though we ended up moving into a different room of the house the following week.
Don't even worry about it.
Sorry,
Burn
that
this
was
place down.
Sorry, that was kind of long. I have a couple more stories to tell. My family are very spiritual, but we believe that our ancestors always watch us, and our family is very tight-knit to the point where we protect each other even after we've left the world.
I really like that.
I really do
That's
like that.
awesome.
I know it's become redundant that people ask if they can send you more, so I'm just going to throw up all the stories I have. All right, so this second one is called Short and Sweet. All my ghost stories come from the same house. This is from my uncle's perspective since it's his ghost story, but I was there to witness what happened. Spending time with my uncle would consist of him taking me to an arcade, then grabbing some Mexican food. On a random night, before we got into the truck, he went to check his brake lights. I'm waiting for him on the passenger side to open the door. Before he gets to the back of the truck, coming from the driver's side, he pauses, walks backwards, and comes towards me. He tells me, I'm going to go in from this side. I look at him funny, and I said, okay. He jumps into the passenger side and moseys onto the driver's side. I hop in right after, and we take off to the arcade. I ask him what happened, and he said he saw a man's head on the truck bed opener.
What?
So he must have seen, like, what are those things called? Like an apparition of some type, like where you open the truck bed.
Right.
There's probably like a head floating there or something.
That's fucking crazy.
He said that he didn't want to open his door because he had a bad feeling after he told me that we both said, fuck me. He said that he didn't want to open his door because he had a bad feeling. And after he told me that, we both said fuck it and went to the arcade.
That's hilarious.
I would be so scared if I saw that.
If I saw the apparition of a man's head floating on like the trunk or just like the bed of a truck, I don't think I would be like, if I go through this other door, that'll probably solve all my problems.
Imagine like walking forward, seeing that, being like, nope, I am just gonna go. I wouldn't even get in the car. I'd be like, yo, get out, get the fuck out.
We're not going to the fucking
anywhere.
arcade today. I'm not risking my life. That's not the game I wanted to play today.
All right, so this third and last one is my mom's ghost story. So my mom told me a couple stories about the house, but the one I remember is about a floating lady that she saw when she woke up. I just imagine the bent neck lady.
Yeah, that's exactly what I pictured too.
At this time, we were sleeping in the guest room. It's as big as the master bedroom, but it's spacey. My mom told me she woke up in the middle of the night seeing a woman in a wedding dress floating in front of our window.
A ghost of a woman in a wedding dress is never a happy ghost.
No.
Because if it was, they would have passed on into the next world, or they wouldn't be haunting while in their wedding dress. That's all I'm saying.
The lady wasn't peering in, but was more just passing by. My mom didn't really do much at this point, just shrugged it off and went back to sleep. How can you do that?
It's like, hey, it's okay. I'm on my way to murder some dude who's cheating on his wife. No big deal.
Oh my
gosh. Sleep.
It's like,
sleep.
She's just like, I'm looking for some kids to drown in the river.
Yeah, you got any kids? Y'all got any kids that are misbehaving? I don't know what accent that was. Don't ask.
Well, that's it. I'll try to send more spooky stuff as I think of it. Sorry for all the oogity boogities, and hope you guys enjoyed it, Billy. Those are really good stories.
Those are really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them. So thank you so much for spending time with us and for sending us your stories. It's
Definitely.
awesome.
That was really fun. So I really enjoyed that. I just think it's funny that like everything comes from the same house, because I definitely understand what you mean. And even though I didn't have a lot of creepy stuff happen to me at the house I grew up in, all my nightmares take place there, which is kind of bizarre. Because like I had other houses I grew up in. I've had apartments that have been way creepier. But that house, for whatever reason, is the place that like all of my like spooky stuff that my brain likes to kick out comes from. So I think that's just sort of common. I think there's always one place where like, I don't know. I just always feel like there's one place where all that energy is focused towards the family, where it's like if something weird's going to happen, it's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like for my dad, that was the house that they had on Carolina Street. For me, it was the house we had on Division. So.
Well, our friend Ralph even has stories from that one house that
Oh
he
my
grew
God.
up in. I cannot wait to read those stories.
We need to get Ralph on an episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so good though. Like we've debated, like the biggest debate we have about having Ralph on is whether or not we're going to have him be on a topic episode or have him be his own story time episode.
I think I think we should do something like the one we had with Armando.
Right.
Armando.
But will it? It's Armando. Will it be like, because with Armando, we didn't have Storytime episodes yet. We didn't have enough emails. And then they started getting more and more plentiful. So now we have a different situation where do we have it be episode 60, like if we did it next week, which we probably don't. We won't have time to do it. But that said, do we have it be a Storytime episode where it's just Ralph's Storytime? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Storytime number 50, Ralph. But I don't know. The reason I say that is because Ralph is such a good personality. He's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like I want you guys to see him and experience like him live, so you guys can chat with him.
Well, yeah. Why don't we do that? That'd be good. It's not like we don't have any mics for it. So.
Yeah, we have so many fucking microphones in this house.
Yeah. So let's do that. That's a good idea.
Cool. There we go. So we're gonna have Ralph on sometime in the near future, and he'll be plopped right between Robin and I. So that'll be very fun.
All right. So let's
stream chat.
Head to the stream chat. I'm glad we don't like call it like Twitch chat or anything anymore.
Jace says, all right, so I made an attempt to draw Robin and her pigtails, and it's not that bad. If you are on Discord, post it on Discord so we can see it.
Yes.
Because we definitely want to see
or
it.
on Facebook. Totally. I love fan art where you will totally post it on Instagram. I haven't had any fan art lately to post on there, so but yeah. All right, let's see. What else do we have here?
Alexandra, who has switched the name on YouTube over to ASB Bunny, a.k.a. Alexandra. So let me know which one you'd prefer for me to call you. Says, I embroidered my own scariest shirt, in parentheses, because I'm poor and can't afford to buy one. And so many people comment on it, so I tell them that they have to listen to you. That is so nice of you.
That is really cool. I want one.
Don't make them send us stuff.
All right, so la la la. Aw, Ori says D&D is like an antidepressant. That's not the first time we've heard that. This month.
Was just saying that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're agreeing.
Oh, nice.
Ori agrees. Ori is correct.
Jaxie says, the tangents are low-key the best parts. The storytelling's amazing, but I love going on the side quest with them. I'm
happy to hear that because we have so many, and I worry so much about it.
And I totally understand that sometimes the tangents don't fit well with everyone because not everyone's into D&D. Right. Not everyone's into the nerdy stuff we're into.
Speaking of a 3-syllable word and then a tangent about nothing that has to do with the story, it's like watching Family Guy where the jokes never connect to the plot.
But yeah, so we thank you guys for going on this journey with us.
We do. Minnie Maria over in YouTube says, oh my God, I got to shout out my first live stream. I hope you guys know I'm having a major fangirl moment right now. Smiley face. Well, here's the thing. The reason we try and encourage people to come and watch the story times is because between almost every story, we want to like talk to you guys because you guys are so much fun to experience this with. And like story times, it's so funny because like when we record the other episodes, I'm always like very mindful of like, is this going to be fun? Is this going to be interesting? Are we going to be funny? Are we going to be too tired? Are we going to be snippy? Is Robin going to be mean to me? Is she going to hit me? Why is she hitting me? That sort of thing. But storytime episodes, it's like you guys have provided us the stories, and we can take that time when we're reading them to ask the folks that didn't send these stories in, and sometimes the people that sent them are in the audience. Like, what did you guys think of that? Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like randomly people will talk about corn or Golden Girls or who the hell knows what. So it's just fun, and it's a good time. And it does take a lot longer to get through the live episode, than the Storytime episodes, which average about an hour or so.
Yeah.
When you listen to the episode on podcast form, when you're watching it live, and it's more
like 2 hours.
It's like 2 to 2.5 hours because we just like to interact with you guys.
Jamie asked if I played 13. I have never played it. Sounds really interesting though. What is it? You have to tell me. Because I love playing games.
Alexander says, I need Scarish business cards to hand out. I was just thinking about that. Robin designed her own very, very, very awesome business cards for bless
Thank you.
For Robin's Kawaii Corner. And I was like, man, we really should get some Scarish business cards to hand out.
Trip 7 says the spiders that I were talking about are golden orb weaver spiders. So that's good to know.
Don't need
Today
to know.
I learned.
I don't want to know.
Let's see. 13 is easily the best card game. Ooh, interesting. It's a card game. That's I'll have to check it
Elasso
out.
says, I love the 2-hour episodes. They fit perfectly when I'm at work since I get a break every 2 hours. So that's
nice.
good.
Zwazzle says, have a great night, guys. Gotta go cuddle the nightmares away from my little monsters.
I waved when Zwazzle said that. I looked over to grab my coffee. I saw Zwazzle saying bye. So I waved. And then you read in the story, like, the shadow waved. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Leo Chacha says, I had the same feeling when they gave me props, so I'm glad that we can inspire happiness in you. Do we spark joy? Because we don't want you to throw us out.
Aw, that's cute. Yeah, dude, Marie Kondo. I am so addicted to that.
I need your guys' help on this. So yesterday, here's the thing. We have these floss sticks, which I think a lot of people have, where it's like a toothpick that has a head that has a string of floss on it, and you can floss your teeth after a meal. And so yesterday, after I was done, I was like, oh, the kitchen's been Marie Kondo'd, so let me go find the floss sticks. And they are nearby where they used to be, but instead of being like in the front where I can just reach up and grab one, they're in the back of this new container. Or actually, it's an old container in a new spot. And I had to like reach back, take the thing out, take something off the top of it, take the thing out, and then get my floss stick. And then I was like, okay, I'll put this that I don't use in the back and the thing that we use the most often in the front on the top and put it back. And as soon as Robin saw it, she's like, no, I didn't do it like this. I'm fixing it. And she took it down and buried the floss sticks again. And I'm just like, that's the thing I use most often. Can it be more easily accessible? And she's like, no, that's where it goes. I don't understand it. If Marie Kondo was here, she'd be like, you're being a bitch. But she's not here. So I don't know what to do. And I basically have to dig for my floss sticks. So someone help me tell Robin that it's not right. And she's punishing me for something I didn't do wrong. So thank you. She's looking at me like she's going to kill me after the show. Just wanted you to know that.
I'm going to be the only one on the next episode.
Ralph is clearly going to take my place.
Let's see. Man, everyone's talking about this game, this card game 13. I really need to check it out then.
I've never even heard of it, so we definitely need to check it out. Erica over on YouTube says, oh my god, hi. After my crazy schedule with work and school, I finally got a chance to watch you live since the holiday break.
Oh, nice.
We're glad that you're back.
Welcome.
I will say this, I'm probably going to announce this before I read my next one. So we picked a day and time that Scarish will be going on until basically September, when the next semester of Robin's education starts, and it will be Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m.
So, yeah, schedule's going to be the same.
Yeah, it's not going to change, and that's a good thing because consistency is key, and more importantly, like, the only day we probably could have moved it to is Tuesday, and it's like, if we're going to move it one day, and that's the same day the actual episodes come out, you know, and doing it Wednesday means that I can edit it early in the morning Thursday, get 24-hour advance for early access for the patrons, and like we're moving to a new recording schedule now that time's freeing up for recording the topic episodes, so we're probably going to be recording those Saturday and or Sunday instead of Mondays now, so we can get more advanced fun times. I don't know, more early access for our patrons.
Plus we got to fit in a new podcast. So.
Yeah, because we need a time for You've Never Seen That, and it's like, well, if we record it on like a day, we're trying to figure out a day for that to release and how long early access people are going to get to that. It's a lot of stuff, but we're moving around the schedule, so it's kind of nice that there's one thing that's been very consistent that's not going to change. So you guys can keep watching us Wednesdays at 6:30. Again, you're going to hear me say this again in like 5 minutes because I got to say it in a way that I can like present it for the episode. But yeah, just so you guys know.
All right. And for those asking, we do have a lot of card games. We have Exploding Kittens. We have Unstable Unicorns.
We have Uno. We have Dose. Dose sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's horrible. We have Joking Hazard, Cards Against Humanity. We
utter nonsense.
I will take a picture of my Tetris that I did with all our board games.
She Marie Kondoed the shit out of our board game spot, and it looks awesome. Shout out to Minnie Maria, who just subscribed over on YouTube.
Much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, because it was getting out of hand. We literally had a tower almost as tall as our 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, it was taller than I was. I was like, this is getting scary.
It was getting out of hand. So I'll take a picture, post it on Twitter or something. Or no, we have Instagram now. I can post it on Instagram.
You can.
But yeah, so continuing on with any other things.
Cool. I had a message and it just disappeared. I wish I could use my mouse. I say that all the time. One of these days I'm going to be able to.
Trip7 says, y'all know about that Japanese ghost that got cut in half and then walks using her arms. We did do an episode on Japanese folklore / legends, and I think that was one of the ones that I covered because she walks around on her hands and you just hear like the tick, 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 tick.
We definitely covered the slit mouth woman, and that's why I was throwing rice in the face of every woman that had a surgical mask over there.
You're such an idiot.
Shout out to Jock6, who just signed up, or I should say just subscribed over on YouTube. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Alexandra over on YouTube says, I just Googled zip spider, and I'm sorry, but that's not scary. Alexandra, you live in a continent that's literally trying to kill you where it rains spiders, so I'm not shocked that you don't find that spider scary.
Yeah. To me, spiders in general freak me out. Like someone posted on Facebook in the Facebook group, a spider that landed on her hand and was just walking around. A huge ass.
They're drinking
spider.
a fucking beer and there's a giant spider on their hand, and I'm like, look, maybe that spider's not poisonous. Like, but if it has fangs and can bite, I don't know how you're so goddamn chill having a spider on your hand like that.
No, I would have flung it. I would have flung it so hard, and it probably would have bit me and made it worse.
Leo Chacha says, bring back Mondo. Mondo's fucking awesome. Did Mondo win our league this year? Yeah, Mondo did win. He won our fantasy football league in his first season. I've not paid him out. I need to get a hold of him and give him his money before he hunts me down. Alexander is fine. Good to know. Cool. I'm going to keep calling you Alexander because that's what I know you as. I just changed it so you recognize me in Discord. Okay, that makes sense. It all makes sense now. It all connects. Also, random question. Do either of you have a Pinterest? I believe Robin has a Pinterest.
I do have a Pinterest. I just put food and clothes on there and arts and crafts stuff. I put a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that true?
Let's see. Jangmi says, I can totally picture another guy wedged in between the middle of you two, rubbing his hands together and telling us to buckle up. That's totally
Ralph. That is Ralph right there. Erica says, I missed you guys, and crying faces. We missed you too. We're so glad you're back. Minnie Maria says, I've been dying to tell you guys one of my many scary stories since I started listening to the podcast. Most are from friends and family, since I've been fortunate or unfortunate, depends on one's perspective, to not have had many paranormal experiences of my own, though the few stories I do have involve an imaginary friend and creepy dolls. Holy shit, send those to us right now.
Yeah.
Email those to us, message us on Facebook, however you can get them to us, scarish.comment, whatever you want to do, we want to hear those.
I totally forgot there was something I was going to read that Chessie Cat says that the scariest live episodes are her antidepressant and makes her feel so much better after. Jaxie asks if we can start a Kickstarter for scariest shirts. What you can actually do is we have a Redbubble that has scariest shirts on there, and we also have a another website I've already freaking forgotten.
T-Turtle?
It's not T-Turtle. It's another one. I will find it and I'll post it. It's on our Facebook page. So if you scroll through the Facebook page, I know we post a lot on there.
I'll try and get a store page for the website too that will link you to the different spaces that you guys can go and purchase.
But we do have websites that you can buy scariest shirts on. So we'll post links, or I'll find it before the show is over and post it so you guys can check it out.
Good call. Jace Leave Me Alone over on YouTube says, I love live streams. Also love this podcast. You guys hold such a dear place in my heart. Aw. You guys have really helped me accept myself being trans. With much love, Jace. I'm glad to hear that, because honestly, it's like I was listening to Adventure Zone. It finishes, and then afterwards they do a recap episode, and there's characters in there that are trans, and they talk about how it was so important to them to have representation in that. And Robin really opened my eyes to it when we started doing the podcast, because I used to say so when I was doing Nerd Chills, I used to say welcome boys and girls. And Robin would be like, let's just say folks or friends or something like that, because not everyone identifies as either or there's people that just don't know and they prefer they. And I was like, really? I truly did not realize how many people were out there like that. And since then, it's been so eye-opening for me. And someone I knew from back home came out as transgender And like when they made the transition, they were telling people in their life like, hey, like please refer to me as she now.
Isn't she really pretty?
She's really pretty. And I never ever fucking thought about what they went through before they transitioned, and then other things that happened in her life started to make sense to me a little bit. Like now I know like why this stuff was happening and why things were so hard to deal with. And it's just been really cool to have this show so we could meet so many of you folks and realize like there's just so many fucking awesome people out there. And so when I see people like rolling their eyes like this doesn't apply to me, it's like you should probably just shut the fuck up and like understand that like people are people and they're everywhere and you should really just support everyone. So hearing that is really like, I don't know, it touches my heart. So it's good to hear. So we're glad that somehow me being an idiot and her trying to correct me has helped you in some way.
I'm always trying to correct him because he's an idiot.
She corrects me for stuff I'm not wrong on, though, which makes me not want to listen to her for stuff I, am wrong on. So just saying. What else do we have here?
Jangmi described 13 at the card game. You get 13 cards, and you have the 3 of spades as your lowest card and 2 of hearts as your highest, and you try to beat the other 3 people. It sounds complicated.
We'll got to look up the full rules and put it on the table. I'm a learn by doing kind of guy. Erica Rojas says, quick question. How many patrons are you guys at? Right now, before we started, we were at exactly 50 patrons.
Yeah.
So that's how many we have.
Trip7 says, Adam's lips spark joy.
I don't know what's with them tonight. I really think it's because they're
very dark today.
Are they?
Yes, because when I was in the restroom putting my makeup on, I was like,
I want that shade.
I was like, holy crap, it's dark.
Wow, you literally made the face.
No, I didn't make the face.
Yes,
it's
you
just
did.
Darker
I
than
will
normal.
rewind this shit right now and show you.
Shut up.
I can feel my lips. That's how chapped they are. They hurt. So.
Well, it's cold outside too.
It is cold. It's dry because it's the desert, and I have had a cold. So all these things stack up.
Ulrich says, you guys bring me so much joy that my therapist suggested re-listening to episodes when I'm feeling depressed.
Aw, I do that.
So sweet.
I do that with Adventure Zone. That's a good therapist.
La 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 la.
I'm done with YouTube chat, by the way. So.
Oh, cool. So it's just me.
Albrain says, nah, it's the new cam. We've had the new cam for a while now. My lips haven't looked like this, so.
Sometimes it's easier to. Sorry.
Jace Leave Me Alone said 50, and then right after that said 51, referring to our patron number. So I'm not sure if we just got one. How many patrons until the Winchester House? We have 50. So we have met the goal. We will be going to the Winchester House. We just have to arrange stuff. Robin's already looking at airfare, and I want to drive, but she doesn't want to drive.
It's a very long drive from where we live, and airfare is very expensive to that city. So I was thinking we would drive to LA and then fly from LA to San Jose,
and then go back to LA and probably
go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's what this is really about.
I want to go to Disneyland next week anyway. All right. So.
Are you caught up?
No. Someone
Not
said.
even close.
Someone said your lips might be the ribs that you ate.
It might be. It is a red rub, so that would make sense too.
It is.
It doesn't taste like it anymore, though. What the fuck does that mean?
Red rub? I don't know.
Like, is that a different word for boner that I don't know about? I didn't say
it is
red,
for doggos.
I didn't say no. That's Red Rocket. What are you talking about?
I'm starting off a new thing. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Trip7 says hashtag Adam's lips.
Erica Rojas says, yay, so cheerleader outfit, right? Yes, cheerleader outfit. I'm excited. My legs are toned, man. I've been doing 20 miles on the bike every 2 days, or 2 out of 3 days of the week for like 6 months. So this might still be a little bit of a disaster between like my third chin and my waistline, but my lower body's looking good, so I'm ready to show it off. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. I am excited. So
all right.
You're staring at my lips. I feel
know,
it.
that's
my
all
lips
I can
are so
see now.
self-conscious right now.
Okay.
Red rum is from a movie. Red rum is murder spelled backwards.
Yeah, it's murder spelled backwards. But Adam had a red rub on the ribs today.
Can I read my story or what?
Oh, is it your turn?
Yes,
yeah,
it is my turn.
Okay, you can read.
So before
I may continue.
Oh, why? Thank you. So before
Yeah.
I hate this bitch so much sometimes.
Okay, go.
So before I move on into my next email, I do want to let everyone know. We had mentioned before that we are most likely going to be moving the time of the live shows where we record Storytime, because currently we record on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And because of the way the scheduling is working out and the new podcast that's coming in and the fact that these episodes come out on Friday, there was only a few days that we could actually move it to, and only a few time slots that we could slide it in. And so because of that, the new time will be Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Which is also known as the regular time.
Yeah, regular time. We're not changing. So up until September, there will be no changes unless it's like specific for 1 week. But Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Again, West Coast time is when we're going to be continuing to do these. So if you've never joined us, we have 43 people watching right now. YouTube.com/scaryish or Twitch.tv/scaryish podcast. It's really fun. You guys talk to us while we're reading. We take breaks between the emails and see what you guys thought. Talk to you guys about whatever. And it's really interactive. It's really fun. And we try and read just about everything that gets put up there. Sometimes you folks are talking to each other, and we might not read the conversations between the two of you. But a lot of times we just decide we're going to read them anyways. And so we get into tangents about Golden Girls and things like corn. So that's where that whole Corn Lord thing came from, or Children of the Corn. But yeah, definitely join us Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be here as often as humanly possible. It is very important to Robin and I, and we've discussed this a lot, to not miss a show. And no matter what, like, I was sick as balls on Monday. I did not want to record. We had to do our research. We had to record. We had to get the episode released. And it's something that it's just something we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not routine. That's just like part of our lives now. So we try and be here as often as possible. And it's kind of funny because I remember seeing an interview with Colin
Kaepernick.
Colin Moriarty from Kind of Funny back when they had first started, before the whole falling out thing happened. Because it's a very successful podcasting like network type thing. And they asked him, like, what's the one thing that you could tell anyone that's starting a podcast or anything like that? And he said consistency. Like, there's going to be a million things out there that do exactly what you do. But if you're the people that never miss an episode, never miss a time, you can set your watch by it. Like, the reliable ones are the ones that make it. And it's funny because the more reliable that we've been, the more I've seen, like, people tell us, like, it's nice to always have it there. You know what I mean? And I feel that responsibility, like, we owe it to you folks to have the episodes out on time, or to be here. So it's really cool we can stay.
You're saying you'd like to step in time?
I hate you so much. What I'm saying is I'm really happy we get to keep the episodes the same day and same time. For those of you who can't make it, that sucks. But you can always watch the live episodes on YouTube. They're always there.
Yep.
So if you ever want to participate in it, just check those out, and you'll get a good feeling of like what it's like. The chat too is also saved in YouTube. So
is it?
Yeah, the timestamps will come up. So as you're watching it, you'll see the chat from the people come through as well.
Oh, I wish Twitch could do that.
So I don't know if Twitch does that yet, but it's really cool. Once we get to a certain level with Twitch, we can also have those videos last longer than 30 days or 90 days or whatever they're at right now. But YouTube keeps them forever. So
neat.
Just want to let you guys know before I move on into my next story, which I'm about to do. And the subject is kind of scary on this one. It is, Lord help me. So let's hope
That's
this is
so creepy.
Let's hope this is funny, and that's just like a facetious line.
Okay.
I hope this wasn't like a 911 call, and it's 3 months late.
911 calls freak me out.
Don't you watch a show called 911 that's all about 911 calls?
Yeah, but it's like not real. Real 911 calls are so creepy and scary, especially ones that are done by serial killers or killers in general, where it's
Why would they call 911?
Well, like, you...
The fat man walks the
Didn't
clouds.
you bring up the Menendez brothers or something?
I did, yeah.
And they called 911.
I know. I made fun of the call from Cable Guy where they make fun of that phone call.
Yeah. And it's just...
I think it was like an Asian gang or something. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and it's just insane that these killers just have no souls in them, and they're just, like, making shit up, and it's so... I hate it. They creep me out.
I don't know. Like... It's so funny because so often people use the word psychopath to describe someone that's like unhinged. But like when you read what a psychopath really is, or if you've ever seen a video with a psychopath, like they just don't feel. Like there's no authentic reaction from a psychopath. Like they don't experience emotions. They're basically like a human robot. Like they just see how other people are and they're like, I'm not like that. And it's like that joke. I heard it on My Favorite Murder where it's like, and it's like a riddle. And we've told it to a bunch of people where it's like, some lady's at a funeral for her brother and she meets a man, and at this funeral she meets this man, she falls madly in love, and before she gets the name or the number, he leaves and she can't find him. And then like 2 weeks later her sister dies. Like she killed her sister. Why? And the whole idea behind the riddle is you're trying to figure out like, oh, I fucked up the thing, I screwed it up completely. So god damn it, I can't believe I just did that too. But yeah, it's like it's her sister's funeral or her brother's funeral. I don't fucking know. The whole point is that she murders someone just so she could see a random person again.
Yeah.
And like people that are normal like always try and say like, oh, was she in love with her brother and that's why she killed her brother? Was it her brother that she met? Or they're trying to like figure out how those things connect. And the point is they don't connect. she murders someone because if this person was at her sibling's funeral by killing her next sibling, like, he'll come back. And it's like, when you tell people that joke, if they immediately go to like, oh, this is why they did it, if they get it right away, then it's like a sign they could be a psychopath, because they jump over this moral border that's supposed to be in people's heads. I completely fucked it up, so don't worry if you got the answer right immediately, because I kind of gave it away. So fun stuff. Totally cutting this entire thing out of the episode for those people that are watching this live. Yeah, and I'm just going to move on into my email now.
All right.
I see Robin's eyebrows getting higher and higher and higher as she's like, just bail out of this. Just hit the eject button. No, we're deep into it now. We've already crashed and burned.
Yeah. Just
You're so supportive. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So the email starts out like this. Darlings, I return. Hello?
Hello.
That's a creepy way to say it. Hi, it's Bree. I sent you an email in about August. You can read this on the pod if you'd like. This is going to be a long-ass one. I just moved into a house, like a real house, ! Which is so exciting, albeit a little stressful. It's funny. I saw a meme the other day that was like, parent yelling at a child, like, why are you watching YouTube and Twitch and watching someone play a game? That's so dumb. And then in parentheses it says, like, parent sits down and watches an adult buying a house on HGTV.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, I never thought of it that way. And I mentioned it to Robin, like, at least the kid is watching someone do something fun. Like, the parent is watching someone do something super fucking stressful.
Yeah, but it's so cool, the results.
It is, but, like, people always say, like, it was the most stressful thing I ever did. Like, moving is so stressful. Like, buying a house is the worst thing ever.
But then you get the super sexy property brothers come in, like,
that's different.
Make your house super nice.
If Jonathan's coming into my house, that's different.
Oh my God, I love him.
All right, getting back to this email before you ask him to hit you up, like, for the 15th time.
He lives out here, too, damn it.
They do live out here. We're renting from a family friend / my father-in-law's boss. We moved in October 27th. Everything has been fine for almost the first 2 weeks. Yesterday morning, I woke up at about 3:30 in the morning. Our TV was on and was full blast. Fucking hate it. Flashbacks from childhood. Which was weird because I remembered it being off when we went to sleep and also most likely not on full blast. I shut it off and went back to bed. When I woke up at 5 for work, I got up, went potty, and when I came out, the kitchen light was on. It was off when I left the bathroom.
That's creepy.
It was just my crappy and it wasn't just my crappy eyesight. From my bedroom door, you can see right into the kitchen, and the bathroom is immediately to the right. Trying to push past it, I just went about my morning routine and left for work. When I got home from doing my morning route, I'm a school bus driver. That's cool. I want to know what bus you drive, because like some buses were lettered and some buses were numbered. And my school system had them numbered, so I'm like, bus 2, fuck yeah. Like, if I have any friends from middle school or elementary school that listen to this podcast, if they heard me say bus 2 wherever they are right now, they're like, bus 2! Wow. We were a tight group. I'm just saying. I still remember the route we drove and, like, where all my friends live because of that shit. Okay, so I was going to unpack some more stuff. I walked into the living room and found our family sign that my dad made for us on the floor. It had been on the wall. So at this point, I started thinking, hey, these weird things are happening. Maybe something is off. Maybe I'm just stressed over and overthinking things. So I told my husband about it. He started freaking out, which is not good energy. Now me and my 2 closets are hardcore closest? I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Hang on one sec. Now me and my 2 closest, I'm guessing friends are supposed to be in there. So now me and my 2 closest friends are hardcore into pagan type stuff. We all have our own tarot cards. We used a Ouija board at my apartment before and smudged afterwards. Our minds and body are open to the, quote, other things. Minds, I understand. Body is a weird word to toss in there for being open to, quote, other things.
I don't know. Like, when you're in that spiritual place, you, like, get in touch with nature and your body is more, like, calm and, you know what I mean?
Okay. That sounds a lot more peaceful than I was thinking. Like, I thought it was like, we are prostrating ourselves for possession.
No, that's just Catholics.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? The Catholics don't do that. Marking that. I sent them a message and asked if they would come by this weekend to see if they got a feel of heaviness or anything off, since I've been feeling a little bit muddy lately, and they agreed. I would like to point out that it is now 8 p.m. at the time we are recording this podcast, and I let Meadows know that I would do this for him, so I'm doing this. Don't forget to take your baby pill, or I'll kick you down the stairs.
Jesus.
That's the only thing. That's the only verse that I have. So I told him I'd sing the baby pill song, so I have now done that. I have apologized officially for being an asshole and going to the wrong side of town when we should have been hanging out and eating dinner. So let's get back to the story. These people are coming over. They're going to check and see if they feel anything. This morning I got a message from my husband saying that he couldn't sleep last night due to being paranoid about what I said to him. So when he went to work and talked to one of his friends, that is friends with our landlord, it turns out our landlord's mom died in the house.
Shut up.
Nothing weird has happened today, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. I shall keep you guys updated if anything else happens. I love you guys so much. You bring so much joy to many people's lives. Thank you so much. And your relationship reminds me a lot of mine and my husband's. Keep on creeping on. All my love, Bree. P.S. The pictures are of my hall and my bedroom door and the sign that fell. I saw the pictures, and I can't read these emails because I'm just forwarding them to my mom to edit.
Yeah.
And when I saw the pictures, I was like, that is such a nice sign. I hope it's not haunted.
Oh.
So I'm glad to hear that it only fell and wasn't damaged because it's such a cool thing to have. Like, I remember we had something that said Casa Diaz in our house, and if I saw that fall off the wall, I would also be freaked out. So that's super fucking creepy, and I kind of want to go in there and see if we have an update on this. But I also don't want to spoil it for myself. So just remember, Bree sent this to us, and when we get to it eventually, if there is an update, we'll all know, like, oh shit, what's gone down now.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much, Bree.
we appreciate you sending that in. Thank you so much. All right. No thoughts on that one, or you want to just go straight to stream chat?
No, it's good. Solid.
So straight to stream chat.
Straight to stream chat.
Cool. Right on.
All right. So, so Neon Scar says, what my coworker said, and I forgot what it was called, was consistency is key. And it's a way to make your life easier in general, like doing the podcast consistently. And they love Tuesday and Wednesday because it's scary-ish time.
Aw, that's awesome.
That's cute. Let's see. Jaxie asked if y'all still listen to Friday's episodes after watching the live streams. I know I do. I mean,
I listen to them because I edit them, so I listen to all of it. I very rarely edit any of our YouTube stuff. Sometimes there's stuff where I'm like, I'm going to take that out. I think I've only actually had one thing where I'm like, I'm just going to take like a little piece of the show out. And I don't remember what the hell it was, to be honest with you. It was probably some part where there was like a lot of dead air, or one of the episodes where we like got up to let someone in, or like our niece came to the door or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, usually I just leave everything in because it's like, if we're a shit show, whatever, we're a shit show. People have the ability to click past it and get past the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go to YouTube and I'll take off the countdown, but like you can click past that too, so I just kind of leave that anyways. So what I have to do every week, as soon as this show updates, is file a copyright strike dispute because our song is part of a piece of music that was sold and uploaded to Audio Blocks, which I downloaded and combined with the sound effects. And the person always copyright strikes it who created that music and sold it to Audio Blocks. So I have to dispute it, being like, you can't monetize this. I got it through Audio Blocks. The Audio Blocks agreement says the exact thing, and I have to quote the thing. I have it in a note that I copy and paste in there because I'm just like, I don't pay for an Audio Blocks subscription to have the royalty-free music have royalties put on it immediately.
Yeah.
So hopefully we won't have to worry about that shit with You Know You're Seeing That, because my friend Mike, who is an amazing musician and sound engineer, he provided our sound, or our theme for Nerd Chills, and I had a few samples left over from 3 years ago, and I was like, hey, can I still use one of these, or have you sold that, because one of these kind of fits. He's like, you can use it. Also, here's a fuck ton more for you to go through. So he's amazing. I love him so much. He moved out to LA, so I'm hoping we can see him soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so we won't have to worry about that nightmare for the next show.
Okay.
So
Trip 7 is works at a psych ward, I guess, and says that psychopaths are born and sociopaths are made. And a nurse told them a story about a 6-year-old who has already tried to kill her parents and infant brother twice.
That's terrifying.
That is super terrifying, because my niece is 4, and I can't imagine
she's
her,
so adorable.
Yeah, trying to murder someone.
She experiences joy, so I don't think she's a psychopath. I think we're safe on that one. So once I said that I think we had 50 patrons, we'd be going to the Winchester house. I see a lot of people saying yes, and then meet up in California, yay! So cheerleader outfit, right? So yes, all these things are going to happen. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
Minnie Maria says, have you guys read into Junji Ito?
Nope.
I don't know what that is, so no. The illustrations in his mangas genuinely make my skin crawl, and I rarely get scared anymore. It makes me sad knowing he was going to be involved.
In the recently canceled
Silent Hill game, his art style would have definitely added to the series' creep factor.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him, so I clearly need to look into this. I do remember when that Silent Hill game got canceled, though, because everyone was super pissed off.
Yeah, as for the California meetup, I totally want to schedule it so everyone can go. I think that'd be great. I'm thinking during my spring break, which is in March. So hopefully we can afford to go by then. That would be absolutely great. And it'd be so cool to just go and have everyone have to book the same exact tour time and stuff like that. I think that'd be really important.
That would be, yeah, we'll let everyone know so that we can all like coordinate and meet up. I'm looking over in the YouTube chat and Eric Rojas says better shave them legs, and then Kat says nah, go natural, and Leo Cha-Cha said you may need a bikini wax if you plan on doing cartwheels. No cartwheels will be done, and I'm probably only going up to just above the knee, so yeah, I'm not going to experience the pain that goes along with doing anything else right there.
In the Twitch chat, it's all talking about dogs, pets, hedgehogs, and how they're all cute.
Leo Cha-Cha says they put on their glasses and my lips are dark. You like the red rib rub. I hate everyone. Alexander had to leave. I'm sorry we weren't able to say goodbye in real time, but thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Love you long time. That's what it says.
Jace says, okay, so low-key off topic, Robin, what's your favorite color so I can finish this drawing? Teal.
Teal is my favorite color. I love mint and teal. Those are my favorite colors.
I know because it's on the walls in our bedroom, and on top of that, you know, I just remember because I care.
Oh, thanks.
What's my favorite color?
Green.
No.
Red.
No. It's because I don't really have one anymore. It was green when I was a kid, so.
That's probably why I thought green.
You did well.
I'm impressed.
It was a trick question.
You're a bitch.
I know.
I hate you. Okay.
Minnie Maria says, LOL, I only watch Let's Plays for scary games if someone around me isn't playing because as much as I enjoy scary themed anything, I can't handle the anxiety and fear that comes with controlling the character because I feel like I'm actually the one in the game fighting for my life. I do not play horror games. I just don't do it. I love horror movies, hate horror games, just not into them. And I tried to play Resident Evil 7 when the demo came out. Fucking hated it. It was also VR, so it made it worse. And we've played Outbreak. So that's the one where you're trying to break out of the like insane asylum. And that one was fun, but at the same time, it's like a lot of things that happen in horror games to me are kind of tedious. And I get kind of bored while also feeling anxiety. So I'm like, why would I keep going? I played the Alien game. Alien, I can't remember which one it was. It was just a horror genre game.
Wasn't it just Aliens?
It came out like 4 years ago. It was not just Aliens. But anyways, I played that one in the dark, and I got up to the point where it wasn't just the humans like fucking with you. It was the alien. The alien finally showed up, and I'm like, nope, too scary. Fuck this. Can't play. So I can't remember the fucking name of it, though. So that sucks. I keep wanting to say Covenant because that was the movie, but that is not correct.
Okay.
So
anyways, I don't know what it is either.
Fun stuff.
I will only play scary games with other people. I can't play horror games by myself because I can't handle the fear. I mean, Silent Hill I can enjoy, but I have to have someone with me. Like, there's a point in Silent Hill 4 where you go back to your... Is it Silent Hill 4 or Silent Hill 3? It's one of the Silent Hills where you have the apartment. I think it's Silent Hill 4.
I don't know. I don't play
okay,
them.
well, you're in your apartment. There's a portal in your apartment, and you go back and forth through the other world through this portal. And there's a point where you go back to your apartment, and everything is freaking out in your apartment. So the windows are slamming. Everything is slamming. Lights are going on and off. It's just all this noise, all this like stimulation. My brain couldn't handle it, and I was just like, I'm done. Never playing this game again. Never finished
Fuck
it.
this. That's hilarious.
So some games I just can't. I can't handle the stress on my brain.
Kat over on YouTube says, please do Viet lore and scary stories.
I should do that. I think that's a very good idea.
That is your heritage,
Thank you
bro.
so much.
Right there.
I gotta do something like that.
I was going to do my heritage, and then Robin stole the Chupacabra, so I was like, well, fuck me, I guess. Never mind.
Well, that was like the 4th episode ever.
It was. You just went right in there and stole that cryptid out from under me. So, boop. Hate your face. So, are you through Twitch chat? Because I am through YouTube chat.
Yep. I think so.
You don't sound very confident about that answer.
La 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 la. Trip 7. Teal is so luscious, Adam. It fits you.
Thanks.
There's a lot of talking about animes with boobs. Girl Panic says, I'm so Jelly Clarkson of your hedgie, Chessie Cat. I've never heard that, and I'm totally going to use that. Jelly Clarkson.
Jelly Clarkson's a good one. I do like that, too.
Let's see. Carly says, my husband cannot handle watching The Fourth Kind because of his alien fear. The Fourth Kind, is that the one with the owls?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
Oh, man.
We should watch it, though. So Jamie said, aliens are so scary because they are 200% real, but we don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, the skeptic in me always tries to take things from a rational perspective, and I think the reason aliens freak me out is because the rational side of me and the irrational side of me both agree that aliens are real in my brain, and whether or not it's 100% true, to me, it's so real, it's a palpable fear. Where I'm like, should I do too much research into this? I don't want them to know I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll go with a cryptid this week. Never mind. Aliens are not real. I'm not going to do that. And in my head, it's like, I just don't want them to notice me.
Yeah.
So that shit's creepy.
But yeah, that's the end of the...
It is the owl one, Carly says. So,
okay, cool.
Good
yeah,
to know.
I like that one, but it really is scary because there's parts in it where they wake up and they just have drag marks on the floor and stuff like that. And
Don't tell me, bro.
Oh, okay.
Watch.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to watch it. It'll be part of the new podcast. Yay!
There you go. And Carly inspired it, which is perfect.
All right.
So move on into your next one.
Yeah. So
give us a juicy transition.
Here's the juicy transition.
She always says that and then doesn't do a transition.
So this next email is from Black Magic DIY on the Twits.
The Twits, like Twitter?
Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter.
Is this your last one for the show? I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes. I am an open spirit Wiccan that has many experiences with the dead, from apparitions to moving objects and disembodied voices.
Holy shit. This one's starting out strong.
Well, anyway, when I was younger, I used to work as a janitor for a church.
Slowing down a bit.
It was during Easter, and I decided to take a break and sit through the Easter play the church was holding that evening. Now, for the most part, when the church is dark, it is dark and not inviting at all. And I believe that.
She just put her hand up for those of you listening.
When I went to Catholic school, at night, I would not want to go in the church or anywhere near it.
Really?
It's dark. It's really, really, really dark in there. And then you have all the effigies, and it's just really creepy looking.
I believe it. I do believe that. For a place that's supposed to have such a palpable and like intense impact on you spiritually, to go in there when it's super, super dark, like that just feels odd, especially because most churches are designed to let so much light in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like have stained glass windows and like the idea of having light in. It's just like to see it just completely dark is just fucking creepy in general.
Like it shouldn't be that dark.
There's that Paranormal Activity where it takes place like with like poor people instead of rich white people that have cameras all over their fucking houses. And it's just like a handheld camera. And that one, they go into a church at night. And I think they fuck around with a Ouija board. I can't remember exactly what they do. But as soon as they went into it, I was like, nope, like this is bad. This is super, super bad.
Yeah.
So those movies are creepy anyways, though. You hate them. I like them.
Okay. So this night was all fine. The play went off with no issues, and at the end, the lights were on. I knew that people were leaving the room, knowing my work would begin shortly. Now the weird part comes next. An older woman comes up behind me and touches my shoulder and tells me to tell my wife that her grandmother says hello. I just brushed it off and said, okay, I will. The part that seemed normal is when I looked back, she was normal looking. Felt solid, warm, and so I said...
It sounds like you felt her to check and see if she was solid and warm.
So I just
like, you're
said,
sturdy, I like you.
So I just said, okay, I'll make sure I'll tell her. So she left, and no one really noticed her, nor did I see her afterwards. Now, after work, I get home, and I relay the message to my wife, and she was like, my grandmother's dead. And nor did anyone call themselves her grandmother. Well, my mother-in-law pointed to a picture and asked if it was her, and I said, yeah, but a little younger looking. And come to find out, she died like 20 plus years ago. So the creep factor just rose like 200 notches and made me really not want to work as a janitor ever again.
Wow.
P.S. You can read this on the podcast during the show.
That's super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
To have someone randomly say that to you, like whether or not it was a stranger that was just trying to pass along like a good gesture or someone who might have known them and knew who they were, to make it be someone for it to be someone who looks so similar in like appearance is just super fucking creepy regardless. Like,
yeah.
It's either paranormal or coincidental. Either way, it's creepy. So that was really good. Thank you for sending that. So.
All right.
What were you going to say?
No,
you sound like you have something on the tip of your tongue.
No, just to the stream chat.
Cool. To the stream chat indeed. So that one was really short, actually.
It was super short, and that was my last one.
I always send them to you in an order where I'm like, you can read them shortest to longest. You can finish with your longest. And I swear you do it on purpose now. You put your longest one in the middle.
I do short, long, short.
I hate you so much.
Why?
I knew it. I knew you were doing that.
That's
I'm
how
just
I
gonna
always
send.
do them.
I'm sending you 3 long ones next week. I'm just gonna skip over the dates and just find ones that are super long, so you can't do that.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Okay, so Glitch Grim says that it's Silent Hill: The Room, and it's a good one. I don't remember playing The Room though. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It
Can
might have
someone tell me what the Alien game was called that came out like 4 years ago? And it was set on a ship. I think it was the Nostromo. I can't remember exactly, but it did fairly well, and it was horror genre. It wasn't action at all.
I don't know. Carly says, in my opinion, aliens are most likely just particles or something of that nature. If that makes you feel any better, Jamie.
I think it's almost 100% certain that there's some form of like microscopic organism out there that's not originating from Earth, so therefore it is an alien. I also do deeply believe that there is some other intelligent life form, and even if they're just as smart as us, that is terrifying because human beings are awful, terrible, terrifying creatures.
Yeah.
And if there's another race just like us on a different planet, it is only a matter of time before they need to measure their intergalactic dick and start a war. And that's just some scary shit. I almost hope they're more advanced and they look down on us so I can be like, please don't kill us. Keep me as your pet.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm really good. I don't pee on the floor. I'm housebroken.
Trip7 posted a link to a really good alien creepypasta. Let's see. Spooky Flea asked us to do a cryptid series from different countries.
We've talked about when we start to run out of topics, which I'm always scared about. That's like the scariest thing about doing the show is running out of stuff to talk about. And we've discussed like when we eventually run out of stuff that's just like you just think of it off the top of your head or like, oh, I'm going to look up that. We'll probably do state to state, like the 50 United States. And then, oh, hello.
Oh, my sock came off.
It always comes off during filming and she always has to put it back on. We'll probably either do state to state or just do country to country, which is so many. Like you can literally do 200 episodes by just picking a state. And then when you're done with that, picking every country and then looping back around and just doing it all over again. Because there's definitely at least one good story every time you go through it. So, I mean, I found a lot already from California because it's a big state, you know?
Yeah.
But there's certain states where I'm like, I haven't done one from this state yet. I'm going to try that. So that's definitely a good idea. I really want to do like a list of stuff that we can just go through and like have like a series or something where it's all in common. So I definitely want to do the super volcano soon, but I really want to get back to some paranormal shit for you guys. That's why I really wanted to go and do Haunted Hollywood 3 this week. So super volcano soon though, because that shit terrifies me.
Let's see. Raisin Rebel says rabbit streams are the best. Yeah, we're thinking about doing a rabbit stream of something, some movie or something. We just don't know how to plan it and let people know in time. Like we're gonna do this, you know, because our life is kind of just like by the seat of our pants. Like we're gonna do this.
It's because we do have free time. I'm not trying to say we don't have free time, but there's usually stuff that we need to do during our free time. So sometimes we'll either get it done quick or postpone it, so our free time is not always mapped out about like when we're gonna do shit. The only things that we set our watch to that technically is taking up free time is the show, and that's like 100% true. The show is not like replacing like work for us. Like the show is built around like our normal schedules of work and school. Minnie Maria says, oof, Outbreak in VR. Can't imagine that was pleasant. Didn't finish it, but I remember having many jump scares that scared me shitless, and I played the standard PC version, so props for living to tell the tale, Adam. Actually, Outbreak wasn't VR. It was just Resident Evil 7, but Outbreak was still scary. We turned off all the lights, we put on noise-canceling headset, and we had it on a big TV, so it was almost VR. And we only got, I think, 3 hours into it before we were like, fuck this, let's play something else. So that was the most Shaniac I've ever heard, says Jay's over on YouTube. I'm guessing Shane is from BuzzFeed.
Yeah, he's from BuzzFeed Unsolved.
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Alien Isolation, Adam. I am. It was Isolation. Thank you so much. I appreciate that because I knew it wasn't just called Aliens.
I found the store. Sorry, that's random, I know.
I knew you were doing something over there that had nothing to do with Twitch chat, so I'm glad that you were able to go and hunt that down. So I think I have the last email of the show, so I'm going to jump into that if you're cool with that.
Yeah, go for it. I posted the link in Twitch for the store. So that's our Teespring store. So if you guys want to order some shirts, there's shirts, there's tote bags, mugs, sweatshirts.
Go for it.
Go
nuts.
for it. Go nuts on there.
Put some energy into it. Hooray. All right, so I'm going to move on into the last story that we have for you folks of the episode, and this subject is, we're so excited, here are our stories, and it starts out like this. Hello, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Jem, in parentheses, she, her, and I've been listening to your podcast since the beginning of 2018, which was basically when the podcast started. And it's the only podcast I listen to. You guys are so cute together and make me laugh. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Also, I'm writing this email with my boyfriend, Nikesh, which I hope I said correctly. He recently started listening as well, so we decided to write an email together, and yay, we are so excited. I don't really have any scary stories, but my sister has a good one, and Nikesh has like 3 really good ones, so we will just write them below. So this, by the way, is my longest of the show, so I am excited to get to this one.
How long is long?
I don't know. It's just long. I just know it's the longest one that I have.
3 Wades.
What? Wow. That's an inside joke. Shout out to Wade and his giant dick. So moving on. My sister's story begins. That's so fucking random that you would just bring that up on episode 50 of Storytime. We're like, we're just going to mention our friend's giant dick. We don't know if it's big. We just like to say it is. We used to like measure everything. Like, how long is this? It's like, it's half a Wade, and it would be like 16 inches. So anyways, getting back to it. Pick a friend, people. Pick a random friend, random dude friend, and just start the fucking legend that he has a giant dick. It's fun. It's fun to do. It might hurt them if they're single, because then it might like set an expectation they can't live up to.
Oh.
But it's just, I don't know.
Our friend's married.
Exactly. So it's fun to do because it's just like, hey, we're going to have fun with this. And it's just like a confidence builder. And yeah, it's also very like vulgar and weird. So yeah. I'm going to get back to this goddamn story now. My sister's story begins with her working at a daycare. And we just got done talking about giant dicks. So this is really weird.
Sweet Jesus.
She was working there for a few months, and part of her responsibility was to clean up the playroom at the end of the day. The last thing she had to do was close the curtains. So yeah, she closed the curtains and turned around towards the door, but she heard a rustling noise, and when she turned around, wow, that was loud. Dear God, I'm surprised that glass didn't shatter.
Sorry.
It spiked the audio. I'm leaving that in. I want everyone to experience it. She turned around. I think people are going to be like, she turned around, and then they hear the clink, and they're going to be like, ah, what happened? She heard a rustling noise, and when she turned around, she saw that the curtains were open again. So immediately this person turns away from the curtains, hears a noise, turns around, and the fucking curtains are all open again.
Holy shit.
She didn't really think anything of it because she was a little tired and thought she forgot to close the curtains.
Oh my goodness.
So she went back and closed them and headed out. When she heard the rustling sound again, she saw the curtains were open again. This time she knew that she definitely did close the curtains and was like, what the fuck? So she quickly went to close them again. But just after closing the curtains and turning around, the curtains opened on their own again. She kind of just stared at the curtains a little confused, then heard this cow toy going off. So she went to go find it so she could turn it off, but she couldn't find it anywhere. And naturally, she got pretty freaked out and ran, as most people do.
I have a cow toy in the bedroom that I got.
That sounded really weird.
Okay. I have a little stuffed cow charm, and when you like squeeze it, it moos. And that's all I'm imagining is that charm just mooing in the bedroom.
I'm imagining that sound from Constantine when he hands the guy like the toy. If you turn it upside down, it moves. As she was running out, she ran into her boss and told him everything that just happened. He was like, oh yeah, don't tell the parents, but there's a little ghost boy haunting this place, and he really likes his cow toy, but we can't find it, so yeah.
Wow.
The end. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
How do you not tell someone that's closing alone, like, oh yeah, the place is haunted, don't worry about it? That's scary.
Yeah. I would freak out.
Yeah. And then it goes on to say, I don't feel like writing anymore, so Nikesh is going to write his stories now.
That's
and then
hilarious.
A big break, and here we go. So we'll see if like the voice sounds different or not. So the first story is when I was a little baby, and I don't actually remember this since I was like a baby, but my parents told me the story a few times. Anyways, so when I was a baby, my parents always found it difficult to get me to sleep because I would always wake up at 1 a.m. crying really loud, and they couldn't get me to shut up. Quick side note, we have a lot of friends that are new parents or like recurring parents of a newborn.
Yeah.
And I will say that some parents are blessed with babies that sleep through the night and just adhere to your schedule right away.
Yeah.
And some parents have to wake up like every hour and a half to 2 hours or every night at a specific time. And you know what? I don't really tell anyone to pray because it's, you know what, your religion is you and you do you. But folks, pray for those parents because they are sleep deprived and they're still working and they're probably about to go crazy. So just saying, like, shout out to all the new parents out there. So anyways, they found it difficult. Babies waking up at 1 a.m., crying really loud, and they couldn't get me to shut up. This happened for a few months, but whenever they went to their parents' place, so like my grandparents' place, I would sleep very nicely, and so would they. But every time I was at my house, I could never sleep after 1 a.m., which was pretty weird. One day, my dad was telling this story to his friend or something, and the dude suggested my dad to get the house blessed because it sounded kind of creepy. After my parents got the house blessed, the priest person was like, yo, homie, so like we got to bless the kid too because he's sort of got a spirit attached to him.
That's so fucked.
Which is why he cries so damn much. And my parents were like, sure, bro, whatever it takes to shut him up. That's fucking hilarious. After being blessed, I stopped crying for a while, but then it all started again after like a few months. So my parents were like, fuck it, we ain't going to take none of this shit.
Oh, my goodness.
So we moved. We always say that people should just move, and his parents were just like, fuck it, we're out of here. And yeah, we lived happily ever after until my brothers were born, and then I was in hell. That's hilarious.
Okay, I thought more spirits came.
I'm sure it was just more.
Kids.
I'm sure it was just more crying. I'm not sure if it was spirit related, but that's so creepy. You ask them to come bless your house, and they're like, also your kid has a spirit attached to them. It's like, you're just running up the bill, fucker. Like, tell me the truth.
Wow.
That's what I would think. That's the first place my head would go. Is like, is it free or is it going to cost more money? If it's free, bless away. Depending on how much they charge you for like a blessing and not an exorcism.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one. Anyway, so the second story takes place like 8 years later when I was like 8 or 9 or something. So I just moved to Canada from Malaysia, and my grandmother had visited us one summer, and she got really sick one day, and eventually she had to go to the hospital. She died like 1 week later or so, which sucked. That's super sad. Small detail, but my dad stayed home for a few weeks because it was his mom that died, and so understandably, but the scary... Okay, that just jumped around right there. Small detail, but my dad stayed home for a few weeks because it was his mom, so that's understandable. So to the scary part. So a month or so after my grandmother died, my dad finally went back to work, and my mom was home taking care of us, and so in the morning, my 2 younger brothers and I were eating breakfast while my mom was upstairs in her room getting ready to go out after we went to school. While I was eating, I looked to the bottom of the stairs that led upstairs, which was just across from the dining room, and I saw a dark figure standing there, and it waved at me. Another waving shadow / ghost.
What are the odds?
That's fucking crazy. We must have talked about waving at some point that triggered all these to get sent in.
Well, I mean, you did the double wave thing.
I wave all the time. There must have been something that triggered like this wave of emails to come in at the exact same time. Okay, looking at the bottom of the stairs, this thing is waving at him. At first, I thought it was my dad, so I waved back. Then I went to the washroom or something, and that's when my mom came down, and my brothers were like, Mom, Nikesh is crazy. He's waving at the stairs now.
Wow.
My mom was like, what the fuck? So when I came, oh my God, this kid had this spirit attached to him, and now he sees this thing and he's waving to it, and his brothers can't see it. I just got goosebumps all over. And my mom was like, what the fuck? So when I came back to the dining room, she's like, why are you waving at the stairs? And I was just like, oh, Dad was standing there and he waved, so I waved back.
What?
She was like, what the fuck? He went to work, but I guess she thought from where I was sitting, it looked like there was someone standing by the stairs. So fast forward like an hour, and my brothers are waiting to leave, and I'm taking my sweet-ass time getting ready, so my mom is yelling at me to get out. That's so funny. There's always one kid that like decides he doesn't want to tie his shoes, and everyone has to wait on them. Then when I was going down the stairs, I saw my grandmother at the bottom of the stairs, in parentheses, you know, the dead one. And I thought it was weird she was there. Yeah, that would be a little bit weird. But also in my head, it wasn't that weird. And she said bye to me and waved. And I said bye to her and waved back. Then we went to the front door to say bye to my pissed off mom. And she was like, what the fuck takes you so long to leave? I just told her, I had to say bye to grandma before I left. And then I left. My mom told me recently that after I left, she kind of just stood there for a bit like, what the fuck? First the 1 a.m. crying ghost, and now this. So suffice to say, we moved like a year later.
Wow.
I will say, if you moved into a new house and you saw a deceased relative that died in that house, it seems a little bit weird to be like, sorry, Grandma, like we're fucking moving out. Enjoy the house. Like that one's a little bit weird. All right, so they continue, and there is a lot more. So let me try and get this lined up here. And
go.
There we go.
And go.
Please stop doing that. You're stressing me out.
And go.
I have to do the thing with my trackpad where you put 2 fingers and you use it to scroll. Because like tapping it doesn't work and I don't have a mouse.
You know, it'd be great.
What?
Touch screen.
Yeah, it would be great. You know what else would be great? A teleprompter. But you said no to that. So, and I don't have the money for a touchscreen. That's crazy expensive. So teleprompter is like $200.
I feel like a teleprompter wouldn't work anyway because we go on too many tangents.
Well, you just don't scroll it. You have something with you that scrolls it for you. And then when you start talking, you just stop scrolling it yourself. Like it's like a pedal or
just
an
like
app.
You're doing on your computer?
Yeah, the difference is it's just one button you have to tap, and it's not the 2-tap trackpad when you have 6 different apps open. It's one specifically dedicated piece of equipment. So don't tap me. Don't 2-tap me. I don't need that condescending 2-tapper. Oh, someone do a hashtag that's just mean. I can't think of one right now. I'm not creative enough. Anyways, story time number 3. I don't know. It's going to be something hashtag 2-tapper.
I just love John Oliver's show. Last week tonight.
Yeah.
At the end of every episode, he has like, hashtag this or hashtag that.
Yes.
Like he makes new hashtags.
He's very good at
constantly.
social media to keep everyone engaged. Anyways, let's get back to this very long email. That's been very, very good so far, might I add. Story number 3. But first, sorry they're so long, LOL, but you say you like the long ones, so I try. I'm enjoying this. I don't know about Robin, but I am.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're reading a lot of stream chat while I'm doing this, and I can tell. So, anyway, this story takes place about 3 to 4 years after the second story. I like that these are in chronological order. It's not very Pulp Fiction-y, but that's okay because this works better. When I was 12.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Pulp Fiction? Oh, that's why it's on the list. It'll probably be one of the first things we watch.
Meh.
So, basically, after having a spirit attached to me, then seeing some random shadow ghost things in my house, my dumbass decided it was a good idea to investigate a haunted barn. You're 12.
Oh.
It just sounds like fun when you're young. And honestly, it still sounds like fun. I'm just smart enough now to know, like, don't mess around with that shit. Anyway, when I was 12, I was part of this cool group called CISV, which is like a camp for kids to travel abroad to international camps and meet delegations from around the world to learn about their culture and lifestyle and all that fun stuff. Pretty cool, I know. I think they're saying that sarcastically, but that sounds fucking awesome, and I wish I was involved in something like that when I was 12. They set up a foreign exchange student program in 5th grade where they were going to send several kids to France, and in place of us, they were going to bring in replacement kids that were French.
Wow.
And what's funny about it is I remember I volunteered and my friend Tim volunteered, and I think we were the only 2 volunteers. There might have been 1 or 2 more.
Wow.
So we were basically like, as soon as we went to the first meeting, we're like, they're going to pick us. Like, it's not going to be a contest. All the other parents are like, I don't want my kid going to France. Because it was
Did
like
you guys go?
Hillbilly, Indiana. The first meeting we were supposed to have with the guy from France who flew to America to talk to us about this exchange program and all
Did
the
he
things.
die?
No, he didn't make it on time for the meeting because he got lost. Because our school was in the middle of fucking nowhere and no one gave him good directions. And we were walking out because we're like, oh, he can't make the meeting. He's lost. He's lost in bumfuck Egypt, Indiana. And no one knew where he was. And like cell phones were like brand new. I think I was like 10 at the time, maybe younger than that. And we were walking out and the parents were like, if he can't make it here on time, like he's not going to be able to take care of our kids. And I remember being like 10 and being like in my head, like he fucking flew from France and you're mad at him for getting lost in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, and they canceled the trip. Straight up canceled the trip. We never made it. I was so bummed. I was going to learn French, live in France for like 3 months. But because parents were like, oh, I'm so pissed off about this. Because everyone was really against the idea.
How cool would that be?
It would have been amazing. It would have been a life experience that probably would have altered the way my life went from then on. And I think about that sometimes when I remember that it existed. Where it's like,
I'm
man,
just trying to imagine you speaking French and it just doesn't compute.
It's so annoying to me thinking about like some asshole parents that decided they wanted to be like outraged at something instead of understanding about something, kept their kids from having an amazing life experience. And more importantly, getting away from those shitty parents for 3 months. So, yeah, I think me and my friend Tim, our parents were the only 2 that were like, yeah, this place is in the middle of nowhere. It's not shocking that they got lost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun stuff. Don't know why I decided to go into that tangent. Anyways, it's super cool you were in CISV. Hashtag jealous as fuck. Hashtag Jelly Clarkson. Yeah, I knew I was going to be able to use that soon.
Okay.
So, anyways, camp thing. Next sentence. The camp thing I was part of was more of an exchange where our delegation of 4 girls and 4 guys... Give me 1 sec. Don't tap me anymore. I hate you so much. My voice is holding out until the end of this episode. I need to mark that. Sorry about that, folks. 2 adult leaders went to Sweden and got partnered up with a Swedish delegation. Basically, we stayed at our partner's house, and they showed us what a typical day in Sweden and also showed us around the cool places. So during my trip, my close friend Jamie and I got partnered up with 2 kids who lived across the street from each other, but like also in the farmland type area, so we were only close to each other really because no other houses were around for a while.
Wow.
One day our friend Kayla and her partner Alexis came to hang out with us, and we decided to go check out a barn that was close by. So this isn't only a haunted barn. This is a barn that's in a completely different country that they're all just like fucking, they're not from that country. It's like Stranger Things. They decided to like have it be in Sweden. So I'm just seeing like this group of kids that are like going Scooby-Dooing in a country that's not theirs. So this is getting really good.
So where they get abducted?
That's messed up. That's really messed up. I like how you go immediately for the true crime part. The barn was part of this land that used to be owned by a couple who apparently died in a fire.
What?
When their house burned down, and the barn was a bit burned too. Since we were such geniuses, we decided we should go at night because, yeah, what could go wrong? So we got to the barn and snuck inside. Then Jamie, his partner Jonas, and I went to the upper level while Kayla, Alexis, and my partner Matthias checked out the bottom level. Anyway, when we got to the top, we saw a room with the door wide open, and Jonas was like, oh, I thought this was always locked, but someone must have opened it. So we were pretty excited to check it out. I like that these kids are like 12 and they're like, yeah, breaking and entering. Fuck it. Let's do it.
You're 12. What are they going to do to you?
Well, Jonas and I were, Jamie was thinking logically and thought we should leave. So there's one person like, we really shouldn't fucking be here. I love that. Of course we stayed, or else I wouldn't be telling you this story. But we walked into the room and saw that it was where the tools were kept. And I picked up a sickle-looking thing and pretended to attack Jamie because LOL.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you're a kid. You see a weapon, you're going to be like, pew, 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 or die.
No.
And he was convinced I would get possessed and Mike Myers everyone.
Wow.
I didn't, by the way. But while we were looking around, I jokingly slammed the sickle thing on the table to scare Jamie. But as soon as I slammed it down, we heard Kayla scream from downstairs.
Shut up.
Shut up. We rushed out and ran down the stairs to see what happened, and we saw Kayla on the ground holding her foot because apparently she felt a really sharp pain in her ankle all of a sudden.
Oh, my goodness.
We thought she might have sprained it or something, so we really didn't think anything of it, and it went away not too long after. Then Matthias asked what we wanted to go check out next, but the rest of us were kind of hesitant since we thought Kayla might still be hurt, so we suggested we head back. Then Matthias asked us, I don't know why in my brain, I was like, then Matthias asked us like to hell and then turned into the devil and disappeared. But that probably didn't happen. That would be crazy though. Then Matthias asked us where we went upstairs. There wasn't too much to look at. And we told him we went into the tool room and he was like, how did you even get in? And we're just like, we just walked in, man. The door was wide open. And he kind of just stared at us and explained that his friend tried to get in a few days ago, but was told that it was locked from the inside and that you needed a key to get in.
Effing way.
At that point, we freaked the fuck out and ran out of that barn, but as we were running out, we heard the tool room door slam shut. As we were leaving the property, a bat attacked my head, which basically solidified Jamie's belief that I was possessed or cursed.
My gosh.
A few days later, we drove by the barn, and we looked at the top, and there was a giant window, which was part of the tool room, and we could see the door was shut, which was horrifying. The end. Wow, that is super fucking creepy. I hate using this trackpad because, like, as soon as both my fingers touch it, it just jumps up and down and up and down and up and down. One of these days, I'm going to have more than 3 USB ports.
Arrows and just do clickety-click.
That's what happens when I do the arrows. It jumps, like, halfway up the thing. Okay, here we go. Anyways, thank you for listening to our stories. We hope you like them. If you didn't, that sucks.
Wow.
That's hilarious. We really love your podcast. We also attached Christmas-themed pictures of Nikesh's Omen babies, as it's November right now. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for this podcast. Love, Jem, and Nikesh. Thank you so much for sending that.
Thank you so much.
It was long, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I love the long ones, and this is just another reason why. So thank you so much for sharing that. It's super cool to listen to stories about, like, just different ways people were raised, but how still similarities are, like, cropping up.
Yeah.
Like, and then we were stupid, and we went to a haunted barn in Sweden, which we were not from. Like, that's just so much fun.
Yeah.
So that was really, really good. I appreciated that. So
cool.
Are you going to jump straight to stream chat, or do you have any thoughts?
No, I think that those stories were really good, and I hate how dumb kids are.
Don't be mean, but yeah, I totally agree. Kids are dumb.
Like, it's just, I'm just trying to, like, imagine myself or remember how I was as a kid. And I didn't go sneaking into haunted places or anything, but I totally would sneak out, like, tell my friend, like, we should go and pick up fries from this restaurant, like, way down the street, and do it before my mom comes to pick us up.
Wow.
And so we'd, like, speed our bikes over there or something like that. You know
You
what
were
I mean?
a wild one.
Yeah.
Right
so
on.
Crazy.
So you do some stream chat. I need to check this audio really fast because it appears we had an error while we were recording.
Oh, fuck.
So just do your thing.
Okay. La 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 la. Lots of da 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 da. Yeah, Pulp Fiction. Everyone says Pulp Fiction's really good.
It is.
And that Reservoir Dogs is way better. I love Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is different. Reservoir Dogs is like the progressive, like, through storyline with a bunch of flashbacks and everything like that. It's super intense. It's also Tarantino's first movie. Pulp Fiction is his second movie, and it's also really good. It's like a different type of movie, where it's like it's told out of order. And it's kind of cool because the way it's told, like the resolution doesn't really hit. It hits for one specific character at one specific time. Yeah. And because of how it's told, you're like, oh, I know because of how the movie's already been told that he made the right decision.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really like Pulp Fiction as well. Reservoir Dogs is amazing too.
Isn't that where that's the one with all the dudes, right? All the like Mr. Pink and all the.
That's Reservoir Dogs, yeah.
I just love the scene where he's like yelling into the ear that he just fucking chopped
yeah.
off.
Can you hear that?
Oh my god.
My favorite part in Reservoir Dogs is when what's his face is in the back seat, Tim Roth is in the back seat, and Harvey Keitel's driving the car, and he has all the blood on him. And he's freaking out because he thinks he's gonna die, and Harvey Keitel is trying to talk him down, and he's like, "You're gonna be okay. Say the goddamn words." I remember watching it as a kid and thinking it was the fucking funniest thing I'd ever seen. He's like, "I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay," because he's in the back seat, freaking the fuck out. That movie is so good.
Oh yeah, everyone dies in the end. Doesn't really matter.
It's not true.
Except for one.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi gets away with the gems.
Of course he does.
Or the diamonds, I should say. And by the way, I don't know how many of you know this. This might be a spoiler alert if you've not seen Pulp Fiction. But in Pulp Fiction, there is a case that you see multiple times. And the thing about Pulp Fiction is you open... No, it's a briefcase. And you open the briefcase. And when they open it, like... You'd see like light shine out of the briefcase and like...
Oh, you never know what it is.
They never tell you what it is. And everyone's always like, what was in Marcellus Wallace's case? And then someone asked Quentin Tarantino, he's like, I intended for the diamonds from the heist from Reservoir Dogs to be in there. He's like, but because I never mentioned it and people came up with all these different theories, he's since decided that that's not canon and it's not the diamonds, but originally it was supposed to be the diamonds from the heist. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool.
So he enjoys it more having people just get their own ideas and stuff like that.
Like they call it fanon instead of canon, where fans think of something and they decided they like it.
Yeah.
And another thing, because I'm just going through all these different trivia things, Vic, I think it's Vic Vega, is the guy who plays Mr. Who is he? He's the crazy one, the guy who cuts everyone up. Mm-hmm. Mr. Blonde. And Vincent Vega is John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction. And they are brothers.
What?
And not many people realize that. Almost all of Tarantino's works are connected in the same universe, and they all make references to each other. And no one really pays enough attention to notice it, but they 100% do. So, yeah, little interesting tidbits for you there.
I'm just thinking of A Million Ways to Die in the West and how Django shows up at the end.
That's so funny.
It's just
people
like,
die
people
at the
die
fair.
at the fair. All right. Jamie says, when I hear French or Italian, my brain turns to mush because my lady boner gets too crazy.
For who?
Jamie.
That's hilarious.
Trip7 says, I took French all through high school, but it's useless here in SoCal. I feel like I would love to learn something like French, but I would never, ever use it. But then again, I don't really use my Japanese anyway. The only time I ever use it is when we watch anime. Like last night, I was reading my book, and Adam was watching DBZ.
DB Super.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super. And we're listening to the one on Crunchyroll. And so I'm just like listening to the Japanese and reading my book and not having to watch necessarily. And it's so nice to not have to.
Suck your own dick more, bro.
It's because DBZ's language is kind of like Sailor Moon, where it's a lot more childish and easier for younger people to understand.
I've never seen an episode of Sailor Moon. I hear she is the one called Sailor Moon, though.
Yeah, in the name of the moon, I will punish you.
Ow, douche, I'm drinking coffee. What is wrong with you?
All right. And yeah, so
So YouTube chat, for whatever reason on Restream, is only going back to 8:26, which is definitely not as far back as it needs to go. So I will read from there, and I see Minnie Maria saying, LOL, nope, that kid is getting disowned. Sorry, but I ain't risking getting cursed by association. Jay said it's not the kid's fault. And then after that, Kat said, curious, what does Adam's double wave look like? It looks like this. Hello. So it's very close to jazz hands. I don't do jazz hands unless something jazzy happens, but it's like shorter, and then double wave is just that. Like, hello. I do that to everyone. I met my friend's girlfriend for the first time. I was like, hello. Hello.
Let's see. Jamie says, going to school in South Korea is awful. Let's see.
There's some debate about whether or not you would ditch the child because they're having this like spirit attached to them. I think I would hang on to them.
I would hang on to them.
I wouldn't get rid of them. Leo Chacha says, yes, you can always make a new kid.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Ruthless.
It's true, though.
Carly says, currently I have bronchitis, so I feel the coughing struggle too hard.
It's like I've talked to a point where like I feel like a pinch in the back of my throat, and it's like it's hard to describe it. You can kind of feel like
that
just
that
go.
always...
I hate you so much. It just goes down your throat, and then it hurts so bad, and it gets really warm. So I'm like, I don't want to have to talk through this. Of course, Robin brings in the dick joke. Suck more dick.
Trip 7 says Arabic is super hard. Jangmi says, I took Japanese through middle school and high school and only remember how to say sorry I'm late and what's your phone number.
That's hilarious. That's all you need to know.
I think that's hilarious.
Someone said something in Dragon Ball Z and they replied with thank you so much, and they were like arigato gozaimasu. And I was like, I fucking knew that without reading it. I was so proud of myself.
I was late to school so often in high school that sorry I'm late was one of the first things you learn to memorize. Sorry I'm late and can I go to the restroom are like the things that I memorized first.
I can just imagine me walking in late and being like, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? It's like, where's the library?
If you knew how to say sorry I'm late, you wouldn't get deducted. But then
you just show up right before the class ends.
But then I kept showing up late so often. By the time the year was over, my teacher was just like, nah, man. That doesn't work anymore. You've been late like 5 times this week. No.
Wow.
Like, stop. It's because I lived in bumfuck nowhere and had to drive like 35, 40 minutes to school.
Yeah, I used to have a 20-minute drive to school, which wasn't that bad. But if the way to school was blocked for any reason, in any way, shape, or form, to go around the other way was like an additional 40 minutes. So I showed up super late one time, and my teacher was just like, go get a tardy pass. And I was like, look, I live on Division. I was trying to get here. There was an accident at the intersection. There was no other way. I had to go all the way to 2. She's like, okay, sit down. And then the next day, my ex-girlfriend, who was a bitch to me at the time, it was pouring rain outside. She showed up like 6 seconds late. I was like 20 minutes late. She showed up 6 seconds late. For whatever reason in her brain, that day was a good day to wear a white t-shirt. It was pouring rain. She had to run from her car to the building. She showed up completely soaked. Titties just poking through.
Wow.
She runs into that fucking room, and she's just like, hoping the teacher doesn't send her to get a tardy. She's like, go get a tardy pass. She's like, but you let him sit down yesterday. And she's like pointing at me, like freaking out. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, but he had a reason. You don't have a reason. And she starts I swear to God, she starts jumping up and down, crying, saying, but I'm a good person.
Oh my God.
And I was like, go get a tardy pass, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
And she had to go get one too.
Carly.
She doesn't watch. I really hope not, because if right now she'd be like, I fucking hate him so much.
Carly says, my husband tried to teach me Farsi multiple times, and honestly, it's never going to happen. I imagine Farsi is very, very difficult to learn. I can't even imagine learning it. Let's see.
Minnie Maria says, Leo Chacha, yes, finally someone that shares my viewpoint. No kid is worth getting potentially haunted.
That's hilarious.
And then Leo says twins. And then Maria says, twins times 2, we really on a roll.
That's so funny. Raisin Rebel said they learned Spanish, but gets an advantage because of my native language. That's hilarious.
Jace Leave Me Alone says, best part of live chat, hashtag scariest twins. That's hilarious. Did we just become best friends? Yup.
I forgot where I am now. The Snark says, I learned Spanish because I love food.
Leo Chacha says, I drink wine from an IKEA cup. I'm hardcore, Robin. It's good to know.
That's how I drank it once. I poured a whole bottle of wine. Tip, a whole bottle of wine fits in a Trenta?
I don't know why you're asking
Trenta?
me. You know I don't go there.
It's the largest size that Starbucks have. Their tumblers are that size. They have like a giant tumbler, and a whole bottle of wine fits in there. And
because you just need to know these things.
I've sat around with just a Starbucks tumbler full of wine just once, but it works. Drinking wine out of straw, just saying, it's classy. And
classiest way to do it.
Let's see. Trip 7 says Tagalog has Spanish vocabulary, but the grammar is really different. The Snark says Vietnamese helped me with a lot of pronunciations in Spanish. What? That's cool. Let's see. Trip 7 says y'all should watch Pulp Friction. I don't want to watch that. That sounds horrible.
Sounds hot.
No.
I have seen many parodies of actual movies that are in porn form, and I gotta say, Pulp Friction is not one that rings a bell, so I'm kind of curious now.
Isn't there a Star Wars one that has the...
I don't know which Star Wars you're referring to, but the obvious answer is yes, there is.
There's one that has... What's the race that has the two tails?
Twi'leks.
There's...
A red Twi'lek just fucking a dude?
No, it's a blue one.
Oh, okay. I've seen the red one.
I saw a blue one, not a red one.
Okay. Wow. 777 says, I love Black Cock Down. That one's a good one. I'm saying that joke's a good one. I haven't seen Black Cock Down if that exists.
Oh my God, Jaxie just heard that their family dog isn't doing good. We hope your dog is fine. That's always hard to hear.
That is very sad.
Let's see. The Snark says, it also helps that the French colonized Vietnam and made the accents in Vietnamese. That's freaking hilarious.
Does that really help, though? Like those fuckers.
No, I mean, there's a lot of French words in Vietnamese. And that, I think that's why we make the coffee the way we make it, too. I'm not sure.
So I'm just going to let everyone know while Robin's finishing up the Twitch chat. If you're looking to play marbles on stream and you're on YouTube right now, switch over to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast because that is what is on deck, is marbles on stream. I'm very excited. I love this game so much, and I'm glad that you guys love it too. It's like my favorite part of ending the show because ending the show is always sad because we don't get to see you folks for another week. But we still got that to go. So finish up on that YouTube chat, and then we'll get there.
Spooky Flea says to put Sailor Moon on the list to watch. There are Sailor Moon movies that we can watch super quick. But then again, you wouldn't get the whole... we can do the live action. There's a live action Sailor Moon series. It's only a few episodes.
And then I'll just never watch the actual series. And if I do, I'll be like, oh, this isn't good, like I do with Death Note, just to make you mad.
Oh my goodness, I hate
so much fun.
No, it's not.
Leo Chacha says, what is marbles? At the end of the show, we run a game where if you're in Twitch, you can type !play. And then there's this long-ass track. And everyone that's done that gets a marble that will roll down the track. And whoever wins, we send stickers or whatever to. Yep. In Meadows' case last week, he won, and he decided he wanted to go to dinner with us fine folks. And fucked him over on that one because we didn't wind up showing up. But I swear we're going to make that up. So
let's see. Glitch says, Moon Prison Power, ? That's from
I haven't seen
Sailor
Glitch
Moon.
a whole lot today because I've been over on the YouTube thing. So I haven't heard his name shouted out at least during this. So I'm glad to know he's here.
There are a lot of people talking about sicknesses. I bet everyone gets down with the sickness.
Hate you. I
Trip
fucking
7
knew
says,
it.
did you take your Wabakis off too? I don't know what that is. Wabakis?
Probably a Star Wars thing.
Oh,
maybe.
I don't
know.
La, da, da.
Leo Chacha says, oh, and when is the new podcast happening? We're targeting the first week of February to get our first. It's not just going to be our first episode. It's going to be 3 episodes that come out, episodes 0, 1, and 2, so that there's some extra stuff for you guys to listen to. And when that hits, we need everyone to go and leave ratings and reviews on iTunes, because if we can hit the new podcast charts, that will help that thing take off.
That means we have to make it good.
We do have to make it good, and we want the people that want to come and listen to it to help us out by leaving those ratings and reviews. I'm not going to be like, February Patreon push for this new podcast. It's literally going to be like, rate and review us. It helps so much in the first 8 weeks of a podcast if you can get ratings and reviews so you can get on the new and upcoming charts in iTunes, because it's basically the difference of whether or not your podcast is going to do okay and limp along, or whether your podcast is going to fucking explode. And we definitely like to have one of those happen, because maybe we can, cross-pollinate with Scarish and stuff like that.
Jamie says, I want to make gifs of Robin so bad. Don't make gifs of me. They're going to look horrible.
Make gifs of Robin.
What could you even make a gif of at all? There's nothing I do that would be, usable, right?
I don't know. You're a soundbite machine, so I imagine you're a gif machine, too. How caught up are you? Because we need to get this thing going.
There's a lot more. Okay, done.
Wow, that was quick. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, marbles on stream. So go and join us on twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. If you're on YouTube, if you're already there, type !vote, then a space by pressing the space bar for those of you who've never done that before. Then a number that coordinates or correlates to one of the tracks that you would like to vote for that we will race. If there is a tie, we will pick random map. If you guys all decide on a map by it being the majority vote, we will race that one. So go ahead and do that. All right, now.
Trip 7 says, if I made some mead that's Scary-ish inspired, would you guys drink it on cam? I would.
I would, but I would have it tested first to make sure it's not poisoned, because I'm paranoid.
It has to not be poisoned and not have piss in it and gross shit. So it's definitely being tested first. And yeah, I know. You know what? I don't know. I'd be too scared to.
Just send it. If you're going to make it and you send it and you're like, yo, it's not poison or piss, then we'll probably feed it to our dogs to make sure they survive. Then I'll make my mom drink it or something, and then we'll try it.
That's fucked.
I'll figure out a way to test it.
Don't we have friends in the medical field that can just test this stuff?
I don't know. I don't know what sort of tests are run on booze to make sure there's not urine in it. So
let's see.
all right. I'm gonna vote for a track because Robin's just still going through these.
Someone in YouTube said to make gifs of Adam doing his double waves.
That's funny. I like that.
Let's see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Shattered Dreams, which is just such a good name for a track on this. It has the most votes. We have 14 total votes in for tracks. I see that we have, it looks like 20-something. How many people do we have? And we have 29 viewers in Twitch right now. So if you're watching and you're just like, I don't want to participate, I totally understand that. But it's literally as simple as just typing !play or !vote right now to pick the map. Glitch apparently remembers this map, and he says, I hate this map.
Which
and there's 5 votes on it right now, 27 Shattered Dreams. So 15 votes in right now, and we're going to wait just a little bit long before we pick this one. It sent my flying right at the end. I do remember this one, and those were indeed Shattered Dreams. So this is going to be really interesting. 15 votes, 16 votes. We got one for 15, which I'm not sure what that one is. It's about to scroll past, though. So we'll wait for one more scroll past, and then I'm going to pick the viewer's vote. So right now, it definitely looks like it's going to be Shattered Dreams.
Okay.
Though. 15 has 2 people voting for it. That's Marble Centauri. Interesting. I have the Sailor Moon theme song stuck in my head now.
Fighting evil by moonlight.
Something, something by something.
Oh my god.
Never running from a real fight. Right? That's right?
Yeah, that part's right.
She is the one named Sailor Moon.
You're so cute.
Thank you. All right. It definitely looks like it's going to be Shattered Dreams, ladies and gentlemen, and others. And see, that's what I'm always paranoid about, because if I say ladies and gentlemen, which is just natural for me to come out, I don't want to like leave anyone out. So for everyone.
Aw. Trip7 says to make you watch Fushigi Yugi. I don't know if you'd like it.
I don't know what that is.
It's another anime.
Raisin Rebel says, can I change my vote? I don't know, but give it a shot. Type !vote and a new number and see if that changes it. I will wait for you to do that before I click Shattered Dreams, but it's probably still going to be Shattered Dreams. So we have 3 people from Marble Centauri now. So
maybe they changed their vote.
I don't know. I said I was going to wait for it to scroll past. It does not look like it updated. So it looks like you're locked in on your vote for Shattered Dreams. And that is what we're going to be going with. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone.
Everyone.
I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to try and take that out of my vocabulary. So right now, if you'd like to play, type in !play, and you will get a marble that will roll through this track. And whoever wins will get some fun stuff from us. Most likely some stickers.
I just ordered some new ones.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. They're $19, so I was like, fuck yeah, I'll
cool.
order some.
Good to know.
I just have to design the new ones. I literally have written in my planner to work on a new design for this spring, this weekend. So hopefully it'll turn out okay. I am just trying to think of a spring theme. A lot of the sketches that I have are for like Halloween.
Wow.
And so I have to think of something.
Right on. We have 21 marbles already for the stream, so way more people than voted, which I'm appreciating. Looking at my phone, because I just signed up for our thing or whatever, Meadows also sent a picture of his adorable baby watching us, which is so nice. And it's so cute. Look at those eyelashes. Look at those eyelashes.
Dang,
good Lord.
Those are some long eyelashes.
Right? All right. We have 22 marbles on stream right now. So if you folks would like to participate, !play. I don't think any of the hack stuff that everyone tries to do actually works. But I'm going to click start here, and then you'll have 10 seconds from that moment to sign up before this gets going. So I'm clicking it. All right, meow. So 10 seconds. Let's take a look at this evil track that has those launchpad McQuacks, and we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited. Lots of people here tonight. So it begins.
I'm just worried.
Wow, someone got launched way down there, and it was J.B. Watt by hitting that fan blade. 777's right there. Glitch is right there. I'm sure Glitch is like, I hate this fucking track. It's going to do it to me again.
Oh my gosh. It's like scary to watch.
Here comes the convergence. And then the accelerators. I don't even know what to call that.
I don't
But
know.
right now, JB Watt is in the lead. The Snarked is also in the lead. I'm glad the Snarked is still here because I know this is the first time that your husband has watched. So I'm really excited that we have another viewer and everything. So it's fun stuff. I love how this track splits off in a bunch of different ways. So you're not exactly sure who's winning.
Right. I don't know. It's kind of intense to look at because it's just so much.
I feel like the Snarked is way ahead now. But just hit those things. That's just bringing your progress to a stop. Alice in Wonderland, the local ghost ball, is the person who holds the record for fastest completion. Valley Grills is in number 1 right now. It says Carly is right there as well. Looks like A. Meadows is in the lead. JB Watt's also up there. It's really hard to tell because there's so many different tracks. Someone has died. The Robin Grace has died.
What?
Let's all be honest. If someone was going to go, we're happy it was her ball.
Rude.
So, her marble.
So rude.
Spooky Flea is now apparently in first place.
Whoa.
And is just launching all over this track. That was a really good line they took. Neon Cars has been eliminated, or Neon Scars. I get that wrong every time.
Do you like cars?
My brother used to have a name, Raisin Rebel and Ulrich have both perished.
Oh,
All wearing
wow.
Raisin Rebel. There's just a lot of people dying. Looks like Spooky Flea is going to try and complete this victory
Oh my goodness.
without getting launched off. Oh, that was close. Congratulations, Spooky Flea.
Congratulations.
Not only did you win, but I'm pretty sure you just took the local record, which is held by Alice in Wonderland, for fastest completion.
Nice.
Good work. To claim your prize, please let us know a mailing address. You can message us on Twitch. You can also email storytime@scarish.com and just say, yo,
message
dog,
us on Facebook
this
or
is
whatever.
Spooky Flea. Please send some stickers or whatever. Just say, please send whatever you guys need to, and then whatever mailing address you'd like us to send it to.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get people to finish without dying. It looks like Carly just died. Looks like Amanda actually finished. I'm going to be next, so I'm actually going to collect some points on this, which will go towards the season, which I'm very excited about.
I died first, so I'm bitter.
Alice completed again, so Alice has made it through this track both times that we participated in it. Valley Grills, the Snarked, and Chessy Cat are the only 3 left alive. And let's see if they're going to have any trouble getting through here, which they most certainly are right now. This is hilarious to watch. And Valley Grills, we're going to say she just got glitch grimmed. Chessy Cat and the Snarked are trying to make it through without getting murdered by these pulsating rods.
Wow.
Or pegs, however you want to say it. Ooh, that was close. Chessy Cat has survived. The Snarked is the only one left to complete, to collect some points. Has 12 seconds to do it before... Oh! Knocked back. I don't know if they're going to make it. I think they're going to get timed out.
I don't think so.
If they would have taken a perfect line right there, they would have made it. But it looks like
Oh,
the race
it's
is going to
horrible.
end.
Yeah.
And the race ends. They are eliminated. So congratulations to Spooky Flea. 1 total race this season, 1 victory, 1 for 1. Got 9 points on the season. I have moved up to 21 points. Glitch is still at 22 points. Congratulations.
I cannot believe how many we've had 15 races. Holy cow.
We are very consistent with this. What I'm really happy about is the fact that there are so many people that come back week to week so that we can actually see progress in this season. So, all right, we're going to go back to the track selection. Spooky Flea, again, reach out to us and let us know where we can send your stuff. And go ahead and vote for a track. You don't have to vote for a different track if you don't want to. That said, if you want to, go for it.
What? Let's see. All right. Oh, snap. It's a tie. A tie between what? Multi-lane madness? Oh, no.
That sounds fun. That sounds like a good one. I voted for Robotic Roadway because it just sounds fun.
All right.
But vote for whatever you folks want. It's kind of cool, too, because at the bottom it says Spooky Flea, who's the previous winner,
17
and which one they
looks
voted
like
for.
It's the most popular one. It's 17.
Only 10 votes right now, folks. So lots of people out there that still need to vote. We still have 27 viewers, so there's lots of votes left to be had.
Oh, multi-lane
We're up to 13.
madness.
Holy
Everyone's
shit,
picking.
10 votes for Multi-Lane Madness.
That's going to be the one.
Let's just be
Just-
real, folks.
it's the
Multi-Lane
one.
Madness is going to win. Maybe someone's away getting a snack right now. I'll give it about 10 seconds before I just pick Multi-Lane Madness because that has clearly dominated the voting.
Right.
Did you vote for Multi-Lane Madness?
No.
Are you popping off firecrackers throughout this whole thing?
No.
Did you pop one off when I was reading a story
No.
earlier? Are you lying?
No.
Okay, cool. It must be that chair.
Yeah.
Little creaky chair. Okay. Multi-Lane Madness it is. We have 17 votes in. That is so many. I'm going to let it scroll down a little bit because I want to see how many of these votes came in for that one track. We have 18 votes now. Glitch Grim is trying to activate his cheat codes, ! Hacks. Multi-Lane Madness finished this voting with 11 out of the 18 votes. So domination, and that is what we're going to be doing here. Number 17, Multi-Lane Madness. Survival rate is just above 50%, which doesn't inspire me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So go ahead and type !play or write meow if you would like to get a ball/marble on stream.
Did I get in?
We have 16 people already in. You are in. I see the Robin Grace is in.
All right, sweet.
Set my phone down over here so I can pay attention to what's happening.
Those pegs disappear and reappear. Oh no, they pop out.
I don't know if they'll knock you off or they'll just stop you, because I think this entire thing is enclosed, but we're about to find out, I suppose. So we have 20 marbles in. Last time we had 22, so I'll wait just a little bit longer to see if there's any stragglers that still want to join in.
Yeah, exclamation point
21.
play.
Exclamation point play if you want to join in. It's fun. I like doing this. It's a good way to bring us down after sometimes very scary, sometimes very emotional. And then if it's been a very fun episode, then it's just a little bit more fun before we end. So it's a good time. All right, I'm going to click start. Anyone who has not joined in yet can type exclamation point play in the next 10 seconds, and you will still get your marble on the stream. So I'm doing that now. Let's take a peek at Multi-Lane Madness. There's a giant jump with an accelerator right before it. This looks absolutely terrifying. So let's get into it. We've not done this one before because there's no winner.
New.
But some people just dropped right through to start out with. And someone's already dead.
What?
Jaxie Babe has died.
Wow.
JB Watt is in first place now, making the jump along with Chessie Cat.
Oh my goodness.
This one's terrifying.
She's gone.
I think Chessie Cat might have just died. We're about to find out. Girl Panic has just died. 777 has just died.
Albrain's gone.
Albrain has died. Wow, this one is brutal. Valley Grills has, I think, died. Raising Rebels
gone.
I'm dead. God damn it!
This is atrocious.
And we're still watching JB Watt, who I'm pretty sure is in last place now, but still alive, might I add. Chessie Cat did not die. The Robin Grace did just die. So 2 out of 2 in deaths for you. There's only 9 marbles left out of 21, and we're 45 seconds into this race. Akasuna no Kairi and Chessie Cat are really having a race right now. Neck and neck on the same track, even though this is Multi-Lane Madness. This is really fun. Oh. Chessie Cat has died. Akasuna no Kairi is still hanging out.
Wow,
Jangmi just cruised right through. That's going to look really well as long as there's no obstacles in the end, because I think Jangmi might have this as long as she doesn't, somehow get eliminated. And Carly says, God, this one is brutal.
This is horrible. Oh, no.
And Jangmi dies.
Oh, my goodness. There's only 6 left?
I can hear Jangmi right now. Ulri and Akasuna are neck and neck now, fighting it out for the victory. I think one's going to go one way, one's going to go the other way. This is really exciting.
Wow.
Who's going to finish this first?
What? Ulri.
Ulri wins. Congratulations, Ulri. Akasuna hopefully doesn't break anything like son of a bitch. So that was really fun. There's only 6 people alive at the end. And let's make sure. I think JB Watt's still chugging through trying to finish this out for some points on the season. Okay, there's 1 minute and 40 seconds left for JB Watt to get through. Glitch Grim survived. Amanda survived. Alice in Wonderland was in 3rd place. So this one was fun. I think it's hilarious. So many people voted for this one. And almost immediately this track was like, thank you for your votes. Now you're about to die. And people just started dropping like flies. I can't believe Jangmi was on such a good line and had so much speed that just this roundabout thing, she hopped over the edge, because that very, very rarely happens there.
Wow.
So it looks like JB Watt is going to finish this one off in 6th place and collect some points for that. So fun stuff. That was a good map. I enjoyed that.
Horrible.
Glitch Grim moves up to 25 points on the season in 1st place. That is Ulri's 2nd win of the season. Congratulations, Ulri. You're now at 15 points. Akasuna no Kairi is now at 21 points. Alice in Wonderland, 18. And Amanda now has 2 points along with JB Watt. So congratulations. Nice. That was really fun. I really enjoyed doing this. These are so much. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. It's just the most simple program you could probably ever build. But because they somehow integrated it with Twitch, it's just so much fun. I wish they'd released an integration so it's Twitch and YouTube so people don't have to jump over. But either way, that was awesome. So I really enjoyed that. While I'm closing this stuff out, Robin, scroll back into some of the Twitch chat and see what these folks had to say. I really want to know what Jangmi had to say when her marble died.
I couldn't hack anymore.
That's hilarious.
Let's see. The first race. Oh, no, that is. for this race. Oh, she said no. Like, no.
No.
Let's see. I feel like Trip 7 says, I feel like Akasunas just joins to dominate on marbles.
That's hilarious.
La 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 la.
All right.
That was a rough one.
That was a rough one. It was fun though. There was nothing there that was like slowing anyone down. I would prefer playing tracks where people die because they're launched off because they're moving so fast than tracks where it's like everyone's sitting around waiting because there's stuff that stops like the entire crowd and you have to wait like 20 seconds before the debris clears. Those ones are boring to me. So awesome. This has been really fun.
Ulri says to give their stickers to the player that got second, or
Akasuna no Kairi,
or the person that hasn't gotten stickers before. So has Kairi gotten stickers before?
Akasuna no Kairi, let us know if you've gotten stickers before, and just let us know if you are accepting the prize, which you were right there. And then if not them, the third place I believe was Alice in Wonderland.
So we got to figure that out.
We do.
So Kairi, let us know.
Indeed.
Oh, so Kairi got it. So Alice, can you let us know if you got it? It'll be like a roll call.
Yeah, pretty much. So we've clearly done this a lot, and you folks have been here quite a few times because there's so much stuff we've given out already. So we appreciate everyone that joins us multiple times, and it's just so much fun. It's like Wednesdays are a blast for us. They really are. And like, it's funny because leading up to the show, like we're tired, we're exhausted, we're hungry, we're cranky. And then as soon as we start doing the show, we're like, God, this is fun. And it really is.
Yeah. It's
such a blast. So thank you one more time to everyone who watches us. I'm not sure if we had any issues with the audio. It does appear that it's possible everything's okay. It also appears just as likely that the first hour and 50 minutes of the show may not have recorded properly. So if you hear this on Friday and it sounds very different, it's because we had to re-record this. So cross your fingers for us and hope that that didn't happen. But either way, it's recording now. So this outro will sound the same regardless. And I'm just going to go ahead and move into that. So thank you to everyone who sent us your stories this episode. It was amazing to read them. They're just really fun to go through, and they're all so different. And then when they're all very similar, like the whole shadow waving thing, it gets really creepy. Yeah. It's fun to see. So thank you to everyone who submitted. Anyone who is listening to this story that it triggered a memory or a story that they've heard before, you can reach out to us and send us that, and we would love to hear it. You can email storytime@scarish.com, message us on Facebook, facebook.com/scarishpodcast. If you go there, click like on the page. It really does help us out.
Yeah.
If you want to message us directly on Instagram, @ScarishPod. Instagram is @ScarishPodcast. That's my bad, dog. Twitter is @ScarishPod. If you go to scarish.com, which is our website, you can click contact us and just send us your email that way. If you don't have an email address, you don't want to share it with us, whatever the case may be, you can submit it through there. And then if you want to join any of our like social media accounts where we chat with you guys, the Scary Spooky Friends group on Facebook, you can find that just by going to facebook.com/scarishpodcast. You can post your story there for instant feedback from the community if you want. You can also go to our Discord server. Best way to go to Discord, go to scarish.com, our website, scroll down. On all the pages, there's a link to every single one of our Facebook or every single one of our social media accounts. It's just an icon. Find the Discord one. Click that. Join us. For anyone who listens to these episodes and does not watch us live, we would love to have you watch a live episode because they're really fun. We had some people come in for the first time and watch. I think they had a blast. We really hope they did. Go to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. This is totally free. It will probably ask you to set up an account, but that's just something you can set up really quick. You don't have to attach a credit card, none of that stupid shit. And if you don't want to do that, you can also just go to youtube.com/scarish and watch the shows every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We would love to have you. It's a blast. These episodes are so much fun to do. If you want to know what it's like recording one live versus what the finished product is when the Friday release comes out for the podcast, go to youtube.com/scarish and just go to the Storytime episode playlist and just check one out. And it's kind of fun to see the discrepancies, the difference, because it's a lot of interaction. And Robin and I definitely are meaner to each other because we make mistakes and we make fun of each other. So it's a good time. Robin, if folks wanted to donate to us, how can they do so?
You can go to Patreon.
January Patreon push.
Patreon.com/scarishpodcast. It's much less annoying than Adam is. And you can donate as little as $1. And it's a monthly subscription, but we do have tiers that get physical products. So I just ordered a new sticker to mail out. It's like going to be a 3-inch circle sticker to mail out to our lovely $10 tier, our badge of honor tier and up. And then we have coffee.com, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And that's for one-time donations, and all those donations go to helping us upgrade our studio setup. We do have the Redbubble store. We have a Teespring store. I posted the link on here. It's also on our Facebook page. If you guys want some shirts and stuff like that.
I'll be putting a page up on the website as well so that you folks can go to the places where you can purchase merchandise from us, which is going to be through those stores because it's a little bit cheaper for you folks to get shipping and handling and stuff like that and sent directly to you. Plus, we can upload designs a little bit easier. But yeah, we definitely want to have you have access to stuff because we get a lot of requests for a bunch of different things. So we want to be able to provide those products to you folks.
Yeah, all the stickers and badges and zipper pulls and stuff like that, I do myself. I'm working on doing some acrylic like keychains, and those hopefully will get done sometime in the future. And just please be patient because it is just me designing everything and trying to make time to do the designs and get them manufactured and stuff, like between school and work and life things and doing the podcast, like researching all that stuff. All of it is time consuming. So hopefully I can get some cool stuff out to you guys soon. But Teespring and Redbubble are good outlets otherwise. So
yeah, absolutely. And thank you to everyone who's donated to us in the past. Because of the donations that we've gotten through the live streams and through things like coffee.com, we're going to be purchasing a new microphone that we'll be able to take with us to the Winchester Mansion, which we are now going to be going to. And like Robin said, I don't know if we said it on the live show, if we said it when we were talking to the stream chat, but we're hoping to target spring break for Robin, so we have some time. So it'll be like March. Sometime in March, we're going to let everyone know when we're going to be there and try and arrange it as best as possible. But we'll be able to buy a microphone that we can take with us on the road and not these things that I'm holding in front of us because there's no way we could travel with this.
Yeah.
And we're also going to try out something new once we get that microphone with the live streams to see how well that microphone works in like a closed setting. So maybe we can get these microphones out from in front of our face. And if the quality is still really good, then just know that that is because of how the dedication from our listeners is and allowing us to get something like that might improve the production of the show. And we really appreciate it. We appreciate everything you folks do for us, leaving reviews on iTunes. We went up like 5 reviews this past week, and it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, you guys are so
Thank you to
so
everyone
supportive.
who goes and does that. Even the people that are like, I'm going to go do that, and you really mean it, and you haven't done it yet, we still appreciate you for thinking that.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. So I don't think there's anything left to do for Storytime number 50. So, Robin, I'm going to go ahead and let you do the sign out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Cool. Bye.